Hello and welcome to another SVU live streamed. I am joined by Josh. What's up, Josh?
What's up, Kev? How you doing?
Doing fantastic. We're ready for best of three here. This is the Timo Cup, so single elimination, and that's it. You know, you lose this best of three and you're done. Season's done. So
yeah, it's been a while. I think since
it's been a while.
Got a little bit of league on here.
We got a lot of league today.
So I'm excited. Yeah, it'll be good.
We got potential for a lot of matches today.
High stake matches too, right?
These are intense. My heart's already going.
I know.
You know, so yeah, a lot of pressure on these players. And after that drought, you know, we had to wait for all the other brackets to kind of finish out. And you know, so now they're kind of jumping in and you lose your out, you know, so you got to be able to have artificially created that kind of intensity in practice, so that you're ready for today, and give it your best shot. So we'll see what they're able to do. We do have 3 League Legends teams for those who've been following. This one is the Willy Wonka, Michael Yagubian, Saber X, and Honey T-Bone, and a new addition, Ainswie. So Ainswie bringing up the mid lane there for this lineup. This is going to be her first time, in the limelight. So this is going to be an interesting day, J-Mo.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be really good though. I think these are all players that, well, most of them other than Ainswie, we've seen them before. They performed well. We see some of their weaknesses, like Willy Wonka up top. That'll be it's always fun to watch. Right?
We've been watching that since the beginning of time. Yeah, beginning of time we've been watching.
So it's excited. I'm excited to jump in here.
Yeah, so we're going up against the University of Windsor. Windsor having a decent season in their own right, so definitely a tough opponent, and we'll see if the Knights are able to take it to them. Best of threes are always different. Playing as 5 is one thing. We all know that's night and day from playing solo queue. But then you add a best of 3 into the mix, and now it's like you're playing a whole different game, even from even just from 5v5, right? The draft is a huge deal. Sometimes you can overthink draft. Other times you can neglect it and really get punished because of the draft. So,
and even that goes from game to game too. Yeah, because you can learn so much from the first round that even if you lose, you win the next 2. So
yeah, and if you see these matches go to 3, there really becomes their own meta inside of the draft, right? Like something that maybe is not prioritized, in solo queue or in the pros could be prioritized here, depending on what these players play and depending on how they perform on that pick in game 1. So.
And for those who are unfamiliar, they do have access, to some historical information of what they like to play. So they're aware of each other.
Yeah, the team's been scouting, so they should know what to ban, what to pick. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one here. I'm excited to see what these teams have prepared. What they kind of been working on. And watch them perform. And sometimes that game 1's just used to calm your nerves. So. Getting that game 1 win is huge for a series, right? Confidence boost, your nerves should calm down. So putting a lot of stock into this game 1 here. We will be heading over to draft here pretty soon. But yeah, so a couple changes here in league since we last broadcasted. There is a new champion, Melio. So he's a support, not, he's enabled for this. I don't know if we'll see him. There was a little Yumi rework. I don't know if that was through. That was through when we last streamed, but it wasn't available that we played.
We don't care. We better not see that.
Yeah, I don't want to see any of that. So yeah, we're actually going to be switching over to draft here.
Jumping on in. But yeah, no, definitely some changes and some things over the course of this big hiatus, which means we hopefully see a lot of changes in the players and kind of what they've brought to the table since the last time they were on stream, because it's been a while. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties, but I'll keep you guys informed here. So, looks like Windsor's going ahead and ban Zed and Katarina, as we've taken a ribbon ban from them. And it's just a lot of a lot of the priority bans, I guess, are just comfort picks, right? In these kind of situations, if somebody's got a lot of mastery and their fingers just feel really comfortable handling a certain champion, you're going to try and take it away from them. Alternatively, maybe just really easy ones to use that you're scared of, right? The difference between a Mundo and a Zed, right? You're scared of the Zed because he's good with Zed. But now Windsor going ahead and banning the Mundo from Willy Wonka. Well, you're scared of that because it's not hard to execute, and Willy Wonka's going to run over anybody with that champion. So
yeah,
definitely a lot of stuff. Hopefully we can get it to you guys here soon.
Yeah, so we haven't gotten the draft up yet. We should be able to get the game in once that starts. But yeah, the draft is looking like opening bands for SVU was Zed, Katarina, Thrash. Opening bands for Windsor was Riven, Ash, and Mundo. Not surprised with the Ash and Mundo band. Am surprised with the Riven band. We have seen it, from 5677. He's not in the lineup today.
A little bit of miscommunication on their part, I think.
Yeah, so we have seen it a little bit. I know Ainswie has played it, so it might be a pocket pick. They might have done some deep research, and that's something that she could pull out that maybe they don't want to see in here in round one. But that could be the band that they take off the board if SVU wins this first one, so that might open it up for her later, so.
Picks are coming through now.
Yeah, Zaya and Darius picked up by Windsor. Zaya definitely the main here for the enemy AD carry. Darius going to be one of the mains for the top laner up against Willy Wonka's Mordekaiser. So Mordekaiser is going to be the opening pick here, denying that. And getting to Viego Ari. So I'm liking this draft here for SVU. Yeah. Viego Ari coming in.
Very comfortable.
Comfortable picks here. A lot of AP showing, but that Viego's going to cut that. Not a lot of front line here for the Knights quite yet, but that could change definitely with Honey T-Bone. And Saber, obviously, he has quite a big champion pool, so we'll see what he's going to pull out.
Now, as we're talking about those champion changes, one thing was I think Viego added a lot of crit scaling, so that could be a little change we see, right? Mako Yugubin doing a lot more damage. But
Yone, okay. So Yone coming in for the enemy mid laner.
Man, that's always annoying. Poor Ainsley.
Yeah, and that's going to be, they banned the Zed, banned the Katarina. He's going to pick up the Yone, so he must, he's really liking those picks.
Yeah, those mid lane assassins really coming in very strong for the mid laner here on the side of Windsor. Looks like we got a Shyvana ban. Again, probably a very comfortable pick on the enemy jungler. Shyvana's always one that's kind of annoying just because you have to play around dragons. She forces you to play around those dragons. And if you're a team that likes to maybe prioritize Rift Herald, which we've seen this team do before, maybe not exactly what you want to see. No more picks yet, but ban on the side of Windsor. Last two are Melio and Ezreal. Ezreal definitely something we've seen out of Saber X on the bot lane this season. And along with Shyvana, SVU's banned Evelyn. So a lot of assassin bans on SVU's side here. You don't want to see those run around, run amok, snowball the game. Yeah, and I think that's fine, right?
Yeah, and they're trying to take out those AP options here for Windsor. And it's going to be the Gragas. So Gragas AP, but how much, right?
I mean,
he's a tank,
Hopefully this guy's a tank, right? If it's done right.
Yeah. He'll build damage, but there's no way he's killing a Mordekaiser if Mordekaiser has, levels and stuff. So could be good here for the Knights. What are you thinking jungle-wise here, Josh? Assuming that Gragas is jungle.
Yeah, if it's jungle and not support, then it's going to be an interesting, probably a lot of ganking and stuff. That Gragas is great at that. He's got that early CC and stuff, especially once his ult comes in. So Gragas into Viego. We'll see. If he lets Viego kind of farm it up, Michael Yugibian loves making sure he's getting all his CS, which is a great thing to do when you're a carry jungler. I think it's going to be a problem in the long run, unless they can really get ahead. So we'll see what they come out of it. And Viego's not going to shy from an early skirmish either, and Michael, you being very competent with the champion and knows his limits. I'm sure if you slip up even a little bit as Gragas here, I don't know. I don't like your looks.
Yeah, so lineups are finalized here. So it's going to be Mordekaiser, Viego, Ari, Vayne, and Nautilus for SVU's side. Darius, Gragas, Yone, Zaya, and Morgana for Windsor's side. So I'm not seeing any clear advantage here either way. Going to come down to skill matchups. Both mid lanes, top lane skill matchup. Bot lane, obviously going to be against the Vayne early, but Vayne has that ability to pop off, later on in the game if she can survive laning phase.
Yeah, definitely scales very hard. Hopefully we can figure out this technical issue before the game actually starts here now that everybody's locked in.
Yeah, we should be able to get into the match. I think it's just broadcasting the client for the draft having some difficulties, so we'll be a little bit delayed there. The stream's going to be, us as spectators will be a little bit delayed just due to, competitive integrity. So we'll have a couple minutes here chilling out, and then we'll be back. So we're going to give you guys a little bit of a break, but in 2 minutes we will be back with game number 1 of this best of 3 at a Teemo Cup.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. seconds until minions.
All right, welcome back. We are here. Match number 1 of this best of 3 SVU is going to be on the blue side with the blue health bars. University of Windsor on the red side with the red health bars. And we are jumping right in, Josh. So what are you thinking so far?
Early invade, that's the only way this team does it every time. Nothing going to get anything out of it this time other than a ward.
They did clear the ward as well, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'll take a little ward action. That does open up, as you see on the top side. Windsor is going to be able to go ahead and get some deep vision on blue buff. Maybe try and get a little cheese action here.
Yeah. So the blue buff cheese. So if he's starting...
I don't know if Knights are going to see this coming.
Yeah, so we'll see what's that. He actually wants to start this. So this could be bad. This could be bad. They are abandoning it, though. It's going to be a 2v2 possibly. No, they will come up. So this is going to be a fight possibly. Nice. So the Knights will kind of win out on that one. So that's huge. Ooh, good hook here early by Honey Kibo. Max range. Level 1 trade here going in favor of the Knights, I think. I think having that damage in as the Vayne lane is huge.
Yeah, definitely. I have a trade Nautilus health at any time for Zaya health, right?
Yeah, so... All right, so we got Viego and Gragas starting on the top side here. We do have that early ward from Windsor at his blue buff, so they will know the pathing of Viego. What do you think about these jungle paths here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird a solo start on Raptors, especially if you already know they're started up there. The only reason I see him doing that is maybe he wants to try and come and do something top. And then reset and go bot. I'm not sure what the Gragas plan is, but that'll be something interesting to watch. And Viego, I mean, Michael Yugubian, we know he loves his full clear. Just get that level 4 quick so he can start slapping people around.
Yeah, so we'll see probably just a full clear for both junglers, I'm assuming. There might be a cheeky gank here, but there was that new patch with the invades actually mattering now. Yeah. So if this Gragas shows top lane, at best, I think he gets Mordekaiser's flash.
It already wasn't good. Now it's even worse. He should not do it.
So that's just going to be his whole Southside jungle going down. Look at that ping here coming in from the SVU side. They know he's on his Krugs. That's great tracking there. And it looks like, that cannon's actually going to be missed. So Ainswie doing good in her opening debut here in mid lane. Looking good up against this Yone.
Yeah, it's always a little nerve-wracking because you never know what they're going to pull with their 10 million dashes. But
yeah, so Gragas is going to come down. So he's going to be a little bit behind behind Viego in tempo, but that's to be expected. They should be expecting a gank here from Viego, either mid or bot side. They know where he started, so shouldn't be any early action unless someone does something crazy or stupid. And this is shoving in nicely here for the Knights as well.
Could be a real opportunity for the Knights. Looks like Viego's coming on around.
So the shoving is good for a gank, but bad for prio for Scuttle. So we'll see what ends up happening. Here comes the Viego. They do see him coming possibly. They're pinging it out. And they will catch him with the bind. I'm not sure how they saw him there, but they knew he was there, went for the bind. And that will end up being this fight. So it's 4 versus 3, though. This is that tempo we were talking about. A camp up here. For the Viego, and that's going to be Summoner Heal coming down. Vayne's going in. They're doing a lot of damage to Morgana and Zaya. So Summoner Spell advantage here for the Knights. Still fighting for the Scuttle. It will be picked up by the Gragas. Oh, good hook there by Honey T-Bone in First Blood! And they're going to both flash in. They're going to get the Condemn. Can he get the final auto? No. So First Blood goes over to Honey T-Bone in the bot lane. They do lose the Scuttle, but overall, that's a positive play here for the Knights.
Man, after the last time we saw Honey T-Bone, I came here ready to make fun of some flash hooks and stuff, but he is on the ball today. He's hitting all of those. Great shot on him. I mean, shame the Vayne doesn't get the First Blood, right? But that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think
them behind if you can.
Getting it on the Zaya is key. I think the double flash for the Morgana was a little bit hype, but I'd rather see that than at least they're here ready to play.
Yeah.
They're not gonna have those summer spells for 5 minutes, but hey, that was a good job by them. Zaya still has hers though, so hopefully that will not get punished here. If it doesn't, then that's fantastic play here from the Knights. All right, so we'll be trade of Scuttles. Viego going back into his jungle. Yugubian farming up.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird interaction of the Scuttle fight where everyone is kind of feeling each other out, backing out, not overcommitting the 2v2. And so we're just kind of back into the rhythm, right? Clear down, see what happens again.
Yeah, the prio timing was actually better there for Windsor, and that's why you're seeing that the Scuttle go over to them. But the fighting was just better by the Knights, and that's why you're seeing the kill get picked up. So good trade here opening on. The Knights with the lead, and they should feel comfortable here for the rest of the laning phase. Just got to track that Gragas. Gragas very scary, still has his flash, which is his favorite button. He's probably going to be eyeing this bot lane. So
I know you gotta be. You want this Vayne, right? If you're Gragas.
Viego looking mid side. There's the E here from the Yone. So here comes Viego looking for the stun. He will not connect, so he'll just trade a little bit of damage. A possible charm coming out will hit, but nothing else. No mana here. That's just going to be an ult in. Viego might be able to back up, but cannot get the stun. So that's actually Yone picking up that free kill. And so a little bit too hard there. Going in for Ainswie, going in, trying to get the charm down, and the play was over. So that might be a little bit of nerves there.
Yeah, you got to watch your mana, right? Like, you can't get out of that ult, then you can't risk it.
Yep, manaless champions are overpowered. Yone's looking. Might be able to get this. A little bit of damage. He actually going to take 2 tower shots, and he's dead! He's dead! He didn't. That was a total mistake there from the Yone, giving a kill over to Yagubian, and he's going to make him pay in the long run, I am assuming. And we've seen Yagubian pop off time and time again with those early kills. It will be a dragon here going over to Windsor, but that kill could spell disaster in the long run for Windsor.
Yeah, you do not want to be feeding these very carry scaling champions, right?
No, definitely not. So
early drag though.
Yeah,
so
early
it could
drag.
slow down any tempo if SVU starts to take from some of these kills and looking into the mid game.
Yeah, so got to be worried about that mid lane. You know, Ainswie going to be dying pre-6 is not what you want to do as Ari. You want to just level up to get that 6 so you have that ultimate so you can just avoid any type of confrontation. But it won't be the biggest deal. That trade and kill back, it was huge. So the Knights still feeling comfortable, still looking good in this early game. And I think, you know, if they can transition this into the mid game, I think they have a fairly good advantage moving forward with their team comp. So Gragas, you know, definitely an early game style champion. Whereas, you know, Ari really opens up in the mid game. So does Vayne, and so does Viego.
Yeah.
Good hook coming in here. Going to be a fat trade. Good triple auto there from the Vayne. Going to get that. That's the Ignite actually coming down. They should not be able to get this, but good trade there coming out in this bot lane from SVU. Is here to play, and there it is! Honey T-Bone is on fire today. He's going to hit that. Saber's not able to get that kill, and here comes the Gragas. He did use the Condemn. They're going to have the block off the Gragas. He will go down. No, he will not. What is this outplay? Saber will not go down. He will use his cleanse. He will get out without even having flash. So I thought surely it was a kill. The Gragas flash was used, but in the end, the bot lane here from SVU lives, and they are putting a lot of pressure on this map and opening up their teammates to do whatever they want.
Not only does that use Gragas flash, which is fantastic, you're surviving this 3v2, which is awesome. Gragas was clearing up. He's going to be able to match Viego right as the Herald's coming up. He wastes, he wants that juicy kill. He wastes all his time there. Like, this is fantastic. The Knights can really capitalize a lot here.
That's a fantastic point. Coming from a jungler, watching that tracking. Now here comes Gragas. Willy Wonka does have Pry on top lane, but he's a level down though. So he's going to try for this 1v1 possibly. But this Darius has just shopped and he has an Ignite advantage. So I'm not sure if Willy Wonka wins this. No, he does not. So he will go down. Unable to get that done. He needs to reset there, get his buy off as well. And that's just the difference of having a buy and having that Ignite versus when you don't.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking that Darius is trolling with Ignite, but there you see it coming into play, right?
Yeah,
so it for a reason.
Lack of patience there from Willy Wonka will cost him. But here's Viego with some pressure mid lane. The Morgana's here, and we're seeing the same situation we saw before. We do not want to see this fight. We do have a Ari with no mana, so she's providing nothing. And that's going to be a root coming down here. Should be able to back off. But yeah, just trying to get... And you know this rule, J-Moff, when you're trying to get prio, then fight for the prio, you know, so that Ainsley can back. But Ainsley just going to stay here with no mana and is essentially useless in this lane. So it needs to find a way to get to town and get something done.
Yeah, Ari auto attacks.
Oh, what a dodge there from Ainsley. Can't hit the charm. So close. Good hook here coming out. And that's going to be the ultimate coming in. So here goes Vayne. Vayne's going off, trying to get some damage in. Going to use a Condemn, trying to get that third shot. Does have decent damage, but not enough. Oh, the return hook. Nautilus going crazy in bot lane. Going to get summoners out, but can't quite pick up the kills. Yugubian's down there, and he does have Herald. Oh, good charm! Ainsley with the charm, and gets the solo kill! Good job by Ainsley. She will go down, but trades it back against the Yone, and that's going to be huge for her spiking early and being a presence in this map.
Man, the Knights, this team looks so scary late that I cannot be happy if I'm a Windsor fan. Just trading or giving these kills. Looks like we've got a little game pause here going, but Knights looking so good going into the rest of this game here. I think 10 minutes down, it's at least a third of the match over. I mean, we're just feeling good. You're a Knights fan, you're feeling good right now.
We're feeling good. We got 2,000
Playing
gold
so
lead.
well. We got huge gold.
We're seeing plays across the board. And yeah, so let's step back here and take count for what's going on. I mean, Nautilus, has 2 of the kills in bot lane, the 2 kills that they got, which is not ideal, like you said. But at the end of the day, it's about getting Vayne through laning phase. And when you're killing the opponent, her lane is extremely easy. You know,
those kills are on Xayah, right? So that's getting Xayah behind.
Yeah,
which, as to your point earlier, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so we're actually jumping right back in. Just a little bit of a pause there, a little bit of technical difficulties for Windsor. We're going to be jumping back in. That's going to be a root coming out from the Morgana. So SVU looking really low here. They need to get out of this lane. They need to get back to town before this Gragas comes down and ruins their day. So we'll see if they're able to do that.
Once again, freezing here, and yeah, I mean. Of course, right this second we switch, it starts back up. But definitely Knights feeling good. I think you're right. I think just not overextending, not feeling too play it slow at this point. Like just play where you're strong.
Yeah, you got the lead. Oh, here comes the Gragas. He wants it.
Cheeky.
Not going to be able to get it. So yeah, Knights looking really good out of this early laning phase, but definitely some things to worry about. Darius getting a kill is a problem.
Yeah.
Yone getting a kill and being up, almost 20 CS is a problem. But at the end of the day, getting through this laning phase, getting into the mid game is really where the Knights are going to shine. So they're doing good so far. They did use the Herald already. It wasn't a great Herald, but it did get a couple plates as it always does. And I'm wondering if the Knights are going to contest this dragon. Here we go. Willy Wonka versus the Darius. Darius does not have the Ignite this time, and Willy Wonka's going to show him why he needs it. He's going to drop the hammer, and he will take down the Darius for a solo kill in the top lane. And that is why you need to shop, and that's what the Ignite disadvantage when he doesn't have it, that's what it'll do. Willy Wonka knowing his limits there and taking advantage, and he should be able to either get some plates or get a free reset, and he could possibly roam down if they want to contest this dragon if they need him, but I don't think they will. And Honey T-Bone's going to steal the blue buff. Honey T-Bone is going off.
Oh,
he's going off. He's playing out of his mind.
The Nautilus carry. What?
He's out of his mind. What is he doing today? So he ate his Wheaties. He's ready to go. And that's going to be dragon picked up here for the Knights. That's going to be a couple plates topside picked up. This gold lead is looking juicy here for the Knights. And if they can just keep their cool, stay composed, this game is looking fantastic.
Yeah, I think, and just to talk about how big Willy Wonka winning that fight there is, Willy Wonka as Mordekaiser, right? You can take one Fed member out of the fight, the rest of your team wins no matter what. If you've got 2, you got Yone and you've got Darius, you're worried about, things get a little bit trickier. But now he's going to be
here
ahead.
We go. Ainswie, look at that. She's waiting for the shield to go down, then she's going to hit the charm. Huge brain play there. Honey T-Bone's going to steal the kill.
All right.
But great job by Ainswie, waiting on the charm. A lot of Aries, they get hyped up. They look for the free charm, and there's Morgana is one of those champions that really, really counters that. So great job there by Ainswie, getting that charm off. Good rotate there, and good map pressure from the Knights. Let's see, this is a straight up 2v2 though. I don't know if they have enough. He's going to dodge out on the ulti there. The charm's going to go wide. Gugubian's going to have to flash out. So the Knights will back off, and here comes Darius, though, so they're in a pickle, and Gugubian's probably going to go down. Yes, he will. Ainswie's going to have to ult out, but she gets caught up by the Darius pull, and that's going to be the flash from the Yone. So ill-advised invade there by Gugubian, and Ainswie will give 2 kills back, and there really wasn't much to gain.
No, I mean, you're just feeling a little excited at that point, right? You're fighting a fight. Chickens were already gone by the time you got there. There's nothing to take. Bragg's coming all the way up now. Gonna get
here
the
comes
pull.
Willy Wonka with he has no ulti, so he might get some damage off, but he's not gonna be able to 1v2 it because he doesn't have his ult. So
all you can ask him to do is live, though, right?
Yep, has to use his flash, but a little bit of, and here we go. Yone now with an opportunity to roam bot. He's actually going to recall. So this is what happens with plays like that. You lose so much tempo from a bad invade that plays just snowball across the board. And maybe the invade itself, you give away 2 kills, but in the end, it's like prio mid, and then Ainswie's losing another wave, and then bot lane has to back off because they're afraid of the Yone roam. So these things add up, and now we're looking at that gold lead being down to only 1,000 here because of that invade. So the Knights need to keep their composure, like I said. They need to just, they got the advantage. Just hold it. Macro correctly. Don't do any. You don't need to take any risks when you're the leading team. Just deny them position, deny them vision, and play it slow. Ainswie going to be 1v1ing against the Yone. We'll get a tower shot, so that's actually a good trade there for Ainswie. Going to try to just keep farming up. good thing about Ari is she always has her charm. So even if she's not up in gold, she will be able to hit good charms, which can really turn the game. A lot of pressure here in mid lane. Yagubian going to look for the Morgana, but I don't know if this is going to work out. He's going to have to watch out for the Yone. He's going to ult out. Yes, he will. So it's actually going to be Ainswie getting hit by that binding. So we're seeing this Morgana come mid a lot.
Yeah.
And that's something you can do against the Vayne lane. If you're not able to abuse the Vayne herself, you can abuse. That's actually a double ult coming in. But look at this! Honey T-Bone's here! Honey T-Bone is here! How did he know? How did he know? The mind control of Honey T-Bone. Oh no, Ainswie, no! Ainswie going up to check the bush. You cannot do that. You don't need to clear that. Play your life, and Ainswie's going to go down, and that's going to be pressured now going over for Herald. And Ainswie just, that's the juicy control ward, a little bit too much of a bait there. And, you got to value your back timing there with the Yone dead. Now, Willy Wonka's going to go check this out, and all the Knights are just getting caught out trying to get too much done. They don't need to be fighting for this. They don't have the prio. They don't have the advantages that they want. He's going to ult up the Gragas. Should be able to possibly do a lot of damage to him. He might try to run away. Yagubian's here. Here comes Honey T-Bone. If they can stall it out, no, that binding's going to connect, and that will be a kill. So that's the Knights. Honey T-Bone's going back bot, trying to get help back to his 80 carry, but he needed to stay up here. Morgana is just running rampant through this map, and those are how those kills can snowball. Now the gold lead's essentially even.
Yeah, you got to recognize Morgana's mid lane when Rift just starts spawning. Other than that, Honey T-Bone playing fantastic this game. Hopefully that single mistake isn't enough to keep him from carrying the game here, but I don't know. There's a lot of fighting. It's weird. Very close. I still feel good for the Knights here, right? We lost our gold lead, but we still I don't feel ahead anymore, but I feel strong, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we're very capable of winning this if we just got to take smart fights.
Exactly. That 3-0 Gragas going to be scary. The Yone going to be scary as well. But other than that, not a lot coming out here from Windsor that poses much of a threat. So they can play it still patient, just got to wait. They're just taking disadvantage fights. You just got to have the advantage. If you don't have the advantage, you have the disadvantage, so.
That's right. Zero-sum game.
Yeah, so you got to be able to, if you're going to go for the Herald, bring resources. Don't just, Ainswie going to be chunked down. She will go down again. So that's the threat you have against a Yone, right? He can just trade for free. He's no risk to him. He's just going to go back to his E either way. So he's able to, and that's going to be a failed flasher from Gragas and a failed ultimate. So a lot used by him for nothing.
He didn't even need to do that. Ainswie already died. I feel like this is a fairly free dragon, but now you're just eating those abilities up for free.
Yeah, so I don't think the Knights should try to contest this. Yone doesn't have ult though, so that is an advantage. But we don't have a champion in mid lane right now, so that's a bigger advantage. We'll see what the Knights end up doing. There's no fast dragon stacking, so this isn't really that big of a priority. But yeah, the Knights are going to have to find a way to stem the bleeding here and get Ainswie comfortable. She's not feeling good so far in this mid lane, and this might be a situation where you put her in the bot lane, possibly try to open it up, but not having a good time against the Yone, and it's not going to get any better. He's just getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, this is another situation where you really wish, man, we had planned for that second Herald better, because then you could come and break this bot lane turret, and that makes all of it a whole lot easier to make that decision.
100%. So it looks like we will be breaking through top lane. No, that's going to be the TP coming out from Darius. So good job. Willy Wonka's building a lead up there in the top side. Almost has that tower dead. So we're just going to be going to the mid game here. This is a slow part of the game now. No dragon up. Nothing really to fight over. And we'll see if we keep opting into these 1v1s. But you're seeing Saber down here by himself in a 1v3 situation. He's going to try to go for the outplay possibly, but I don't know what he's going to be able to do. Here comes the Herald. He's going to have to ult up. Here comes Honey T-Bone, though, a little bit slow. He's going to get the shots off on the Gragas. We should have the Honey T-Bone ult. This should be Gragas possibly going down. Going to flash, but not get anything done. So doesn't look like a kill will come out. I thought Honey T-Bone had his ult. Yeah, maybe he didn't. I thought he was going to pop it there on the Gragas, but ended up not doing that. So he did have the Morgana shield, but it looked like it got popped. But
yeah, I think he took that out with the hook, right?
Yeah, so nothing in the long run, just a tower. So we got mid tower down as well. So that's 2 towers going over to Windsor. And the map pressure is going to be in their favor because of that. They're going to be able to get extended vision. The Knights are going to have to protect their pink wards, which they have good ones out here in the South Jungle. They're just going to have to protect those the best they can without getting baited. Yon in the top side is a good time to go out and get vision, but they don't know he's there. Willy Wonka playing it smart. Will he get baited? He does have his ultimate and his flash, so... but look at the patience there from Willy Wonka, and this is Willy Wonka, knowing, that Yon is missing and there's nothing going on bot side. So, we've seen him in the past, possibly a good hook there, actually, coming out from Honey T-Bone. This could be a kill. Going to be ulting in. They will pick up that one. Oh, and the knockup still goes through. Here comes the Xayah ult. Should be able to get out. Will flash. So they do get the Xayah flash out of that, and that was great timing there on the Honey T-Bone ultimate. It hit her right as the Morgana shield expired, and... if I didn't know this guy better, I'd say it was planned. But either way, great play by him. They're still sending some attention up here for Mordekaiser, but I don't think Willy Wonka needs to be too afraid. Gragas going to be swinging back mid. Yon now bot lane against the Ahri, which I think is much better for us in the long run. Ahri, can be able to just let him push. Get those waves, try to look for a roam possibly on your roam timing. But here comes the Yon. Saber's going to have to back off, and they will do so nicely. So, still a very close game. The Knights actually down in gold now for the first time in this game. So they're going to have to play a little bit smarter. This third dragon's going to be scary. Oh, gets the hook. Another max range hook coming in from T-Bone, but no, they cannot get the kill. Yes, they will. Another kill goes over to Nautilus, but here comes Yon. Yon's doing a lot of damage. He's a scary Yon, but here goes Yagubian. Can he get anything done? No, he will go down. So the Yon shows up, does too much damage, and the Knights will lose that fight. And once again, opting into a 4v4, but just didn't have enough. And Yagubian not able to get anything down the back line. The snare hitting the Vayne was huge. Locking Vayne down is a big priority in your team fight. And with the cleanse down, he's not able to get out of the Morgana queue, and he will die.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it came down to. Right? I think Sabrak's going to be able to do a lot. They're really committing a lot here. Not quite going to get anything.
Yeah, the pressure coming out from Yon. Trying to push him back. Ainsworth going to have to use her flash there. So the Knights need to get their vision out. Dragon's going to be coming up in a minute. It is Chem Dragon, so, debatable on the usefulness. But this is something that you don't want to be giving over for free.
No. Especially, I mean, this Yon is becoming an issue, right? Yon is becoming
he's going to be a major issue. And he's going Iceborne, so he's going to be fairly tanky, but I don't think that's great into the Vayne. Vayne just needs to have a good team fight. And the same with the Viego, so they should be able to deal with it. They don't have a ton of burst damage. Obviously, it's going to be good against the Ahri. He's not going to be able to chunk him down, especially with that Wit's End. But you're seeing the pressure he can apply with the tankier build. He just can go in fearlessly, do a ton of damage, 40% of Nautilus' health, and then just back off. Might be able to get a charm here. No, going to back off. And you're seeing all these plants. This is what the Chem Dragon does. All these extra plants, extra blast cones, extra of the happy fruit. You just have all these things that you got to play around, and they do double distance. So no vision really left behind here from Windsor, except for that one ward at the chickens. But it's just annoying because you don't know if they have wards or not, right?
No. Dragon's half, but it looks like this dragon this is over. Are we gonna take a fight though?
I
don't like. We weren't positioned. I feel like we weren't ready to take something there.
Yeah, Viego looking to go in, and we did bring. I'm pretty sure Mordekaiser is Mordekaiser down here. I don't know where Mordekaiser is. Can't see him, but that is the 1v1. Can they pick this up though? Here comes the TP from the Darius. So yeah, Mordekaiser's down here. They're gonna try to shut down this Yon, but here comes the crew. It's not gonna be Xayah's not gonna be there, but there comes the spell shield, and that's gonna lock down the charm. So we will hit a hook on one. Darius gonna go into the zone there, but just not enough. The Knights just losing out. And we're seeing this Yon take control of this game. Yagubian just gets annihilated by him. And the Knights need their items, right? Vayne needs to get her Mythic. You have 2 items on the Viego, which is nice, but they're just not in position to go for this dragon. And even with having Mordekaiser there early, they're still too slow to get to the play.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worst part of all these fights. It's fights that we're not getting any gold, any kills off of. And that means it's time wasted for Vayne. Like, the sooner you can get Vayne, big gigantic Vayne, the better.
Yeah, so want to see them focus up, getting their items, play patient, don't be giving away too many more kills, because now we're seeing this gold lead become a bit of an issue. So I want to see them play a little bit differently. You're going to be coming out with that Morgana Q, going to lock down the vein, and that is an hour-long CC. We'll actually get the flash, so Morgana's flash, not, it's whatever, but it's something.
I mean, not Willy Wonka. Honey T-Bone, you know he's gonna hit those, so you gotta respect Flash him every time.
Exactly.
I love him in this game. There he's going in.
He should be able. He's actually not gonna get the Xayah ulti, as I was gonna save her ult. Interesting play there. Yagubian gonna look. That's gonna be good nice kill there from Ainswie. But here's the Yone. They need everyone else to help with the Yone. Yone's gonna go in onto the Vayne. Vayne's gonna try to knock him against the wall. He will flash out, and that's gonna be a shutdown going over Viego. That's huge. So the Gragas will pick up the kill there on the Vayne. But here comes Yagubian, and he's going to try to get the kill. Yes, Ainswie coming in clutch with 2 kills there, and the Knights are back in it with a great fight in mid lane.
Yeah, I know. You start to see that gold lead slip. In fact, you start to see Windsor take that gold lead, but that's a huge fight right there. Well played by the Knights.
Yeah, 2 for 3 at the end of the day, but those 2 are very meaningful. It's going to get Ainswie back in this game, get her some gold. I would have liked to see a kill or 2 go over to the Vayne possibly, but that's okay. A kill on Yagubian is good. Viego is going to be nice. You can get one of those resets in the fight. It's huge. But we're going to have to see the Knights with the setup is what I'm really worried about. They need to find a time, get some prio, and set up either defensive vision up at this Baron. You can set up aggressive vision down by the Dragon for the Soul Dragon that's coming up in 2 minutes. They got to get something done because these disadvantaged fights are not going to be what you need, especially when you're down in gold.
Dragon timer is 3 minutes, and that Baron 2 minutes, and that Baron's up right now. So.
Here comes Yagubian, rinse and repeat, looking back at mid lane. Mordekaiser going up against Yone. I think that's their best matchup against the Yone. Morgana doing very aggressive warding here. Yagubian's going to find her, and that might be a fight here in the mid lane, but we have no prio. Nautilus playing towards the north side for some reason, and Yagubian's going in, and he's by himself. So a little bit of miscommunication here, and he's going to be killed up. So they got to keep track of their teammates. Not able to do so, but there's a 1v1 Willy Wonka, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Yone thinks he's powerful, but not against Willy Wonka's Mordekaiser. Vayne's going to get knocked back, going to go invis, going to look for a way out. Does not have any tools, though, so we'll get rooted up and we'll get slain, and that might be Baron here. So Mordekaiser going to have to back off, might need to TP, but that might be Baron going into their hands.
Tough for Vayne to outplay. Double scanner there. But yeah, great plays for Willy Wonka down there, but we're just getting caught out of position. It's maybe a lack of communication, understanding, hey, what's the plan, guys? Because you've got to really, at this point, you're all acting together, right? You're kind of one organism, and you're controlling the map together. And when you're trying to kind of make those solo plays or go for that solo vision, you're going to pay the price for it. That's not worth it.
Yeah, so here comes the Soul Dragon coming up in 40 seconds. Vayne's still dead, going to be late to this, going to have to hustle. The Knights don't have much vision. They do have the scuttle, which is nice. There's nothing you can do to remove that. But they're going to have to find a way. They need a little bit. They're getting a little disorganized. We saw there with the Yagubian death. These plants are nice for clearing out vision. But look at this Morgana. Definitely overextending, but Knight's not finding a way to punish it. Here comes Prio coming out in mid. Going to be rooted up there. The Knights clearing out vision in their own jungle, which is good. Darius is a little bit behind the play, but they don't know that. Mordekaiser looking in. Doesn't have his ult up yet, so it looks like the Knights will need to back off. Yagubian's going to get caught up by the Yone. Will take a huge chunk of damage, but that's 2 ults coming out. Yone and Gragas ult that are now down for this fight. What the Knights decide to do, they're going to sneak in here on the north side. Yagubian low on health. Here come the Knights. 4 versus 5. Yagubian's on the flank. He's low on health, and that will be the soul going over. Yagubian will go down, and the Knights need to back off, but they're still looking for the fight. There's the ulti coming out from the Nautilus. The Knights need to kite. Here goes Willy Wonka. He's going in the back line. He's in a 1v2 situation. He's going to try to pull it out. Doesn't have his ult. He already used it, so he will go down. The Knights will back off.
Man, that might have been your one chance to resolve it, or to remedy it, right? Take what you can while Willy Wonka's dealing with 2 of them. He's made it a 3v3 for you. But, I mean, maybe it was a hopeless. I don't know. It's slipping away from the Knights a little bit here. Soul over, Baron over, down 3k gold. Definitely not favored the rest of this game, I think, for the Knights. Not feeling very good. Not feeling very confident.
Yeah, no, definitely, they have the soul. Obviously that opens up the Elder angle, which I think is fine, for the Knights. You do want this game to go, you want to get your items down on the Vayne. You'd like to have her to have 3 items, especially when Xayah has 3. So definitely falling behind here individually just across the board, but I want to see what the Knights can do. He's going to be coming in on Yagubian. Yagubian actually really close there to taking out the Yone, but couldn't quite get it done. And Yagubian, I thought, had a lot of kills this game, but just unable to get going. Here comes the flash in from Morgana, going to get instantly popped. And so that's a trade 1-for-1. No TP on the Yone, so he's going to back off. So it is a 4v3, but the base is opened up. And we'll see if the Knights can hold on and wait until they get their items, because this could be an Elder fight or a second Baron fight, in a few minutes. If the Knights can just get some spikes before then, I still think they can win this, but it's definitely an uphill battle.
I've never seen this Frostfire on Yone before, and it looks incredibly annoying. Like, wow. The dude is way too tanky. Very tough to beat. He's got plenty of damage to boot as well. So, but yeah, like you said, not a thing up right now, but there's stuff coming up, right? We got to be ready for. Hopefully the Knights can take this opportunity to kind of like posture themselves, get what they can. Vayne nowhere near 3 items yet. It looks like unfortunate, but I don't know. What's the play here? What do you think the Knights should be focusing on in this couple of minutes?
Yeah, I think they just need to play their game and find an ankle for a fight. Like this Yone is level 17, which is not good. You can see how deep he can go. And just not take any punishment in return. So dealing with him is an issue, but if you can get him back in the side lane, we saw Willy Wonka, be able to handle him. So I think if you can get in a 1-3-1 situation, let Vayne free farm this, just be patient, don't give over too many more kills, especially kills around when Baron or when Dragon is up, because we need to just have a clean 5v5, and get some defensive vision. Like right now, we should be getting some defensive vision now. We do have it in the north side, which is nice. So it looks like we're going to be trying to threaten the Baron take if they go for it in 2 minutes. And that's what you want to see, because once we get these spikes in, once Vayne gets her Ginsus, I think Vayne can take over a fight. There's not a lot of tools here for Windsor to deal with the Vayne. And so unless she gets hit with a Morgana, well, here we go. Morgana, a little bit out of position. We've been seeing this all day. She will use her Zanyas, so that could be stall long enough, but that's a lot of damage coming out on Yone. And here goes Saber. He's going to get the shutdown there. So that's 1. Can he get more? He's going to go in on the Darius here. Darius level 17 versus the 14 of Saber. Saber's going to need backup, though. Where's his team? He's trying to do it all. He's trying to take out Darius, and he will. He'll get that shutdown as well, but where's his team? He'll get a 3rd. Where's his team? His team needs to get up here and cut off that angle. They weren't able to do so, but that's a 1v3 for Saber, and that's going to be golden in his pocket. That's huge, but we want to see everybody else step up, cut off that choke, and not let the reinforcements just get through. But good job there by Saber making that individual play.
Amazing plays. And missed opportunities, though. Like I said, the first missed hook of the game.
Yeah, Honey T-Bone going to go in. He's going to give over a free kill here. So the Knights fishing in a 3v2, which I like the idea, but just not able to execute. She does have flash and has ult still up, so they might be able to get to Gragas here. Here comes Yagubian. He's going to miss the stun. He's going to hit the Q, but that's not going to do anything. So the Knights do pick up some gold, which is nice. A couple shutdowns there, but will they be able to set up for this Baron in 25 seconds? And will Windsor want to opt into this Baron right away, or are they going to play it slow?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's, like you said, a messy fight and missed opportunities, but 2 shutdowns on Vayne. 3 kills. Like, ooh, Saber X is very scary right now. Like you said, Ginsu now and Orden's Mail, so it's going to be tougher to kill, so... a lot happening, big plays. It looks like Morgana is wandering around topside, so they might be posturing for this Baron right off the bat, like you said.
Yeah, we saw that Morgana being out of position, which is what started that fight. So,
which is maybe something to it's not uncommon for this game, I think, right? That's something that Knights have been able to capitalize on before. Maybe keep looking for it. Should be no Zanyas right now either. So
yeah, so the buff they get with this soul is they get increased health, they increase resistance and increased damage when they're below 50% health. So it's kind of a weird soul, because if you're winning, you're not really going to be below 50% health, but this is kind of a weird game, so they probably will be, depending on how this has been going. Honey T-Bone brazenly going to go clear this pink board. He is feeling good.
Respecting this
Here
man
comes the Yone, though, and Honey T-Bone's life is very important, despite what people say about their supports. Good dodges out. Oh, they could catch out the Gragas here. Gragas getting extremely low. Here goes Yagubian. He's going to need backup, though. Here comes the squad. Willy Wonka. What will he do? He'll get the shutdown. Here comes Morgana. Morgana going to go on a stopwatch. Honey T-Bone still available. Ari's going to get ulted, solo ulted by the Yone. Yone's not going to be able to do much. much. Here goes Vayne. Vayne's going off, and that should be Baron here. Honey, T-Bone still alive. Everyone's still alive here for the Knights. Even Ainswie, who got solo ulted by the Yone. She got in his head. He wanted to get the ult. This could be Baron and Elder for the Knights if they play this well. There's Baron. They're going to go down to Elder, and that could be a complete flip of this game.
That's insanely huge, and Knights really well played. Right, when Yone is that scary as he is, you just kind of spread the fight out like that, right? And you can contain Yone for some extended period of time, where the rest of your team just deals with all of Windsor. I mean, that's it. Yone's not going to 1v5. Look at his build, right? He's not going to 1v5. So this is amazing. I think the Knights. Now I'm a believer again. I'm a believer. There's a gold league. They've got Baron.
We got Elder. We got Baron. Yeah,
so,
I mean, I think we just go mid, right? Like, I mean, yeah, you can force with the Nautilus. You don't have a lot of cooldowns yet, but by the time you get the waves up, bot wave pushing for you automatically. You're seeing Darius going to cut off the top wave. That's smart by him. But the Knights should be able to force here. They have an option, though. They don't have to if they still think that they need to level up a little bit more, because they are scaling decently well. But the question is, do you let that scaling bait you into not getting as much out of these double Baron Elder buffs as you can? Because this is a huge power spike. If they can get any fight, it should be free. But there's still a lot of turrets to work through. So getting these through the wave clear of Windsor is not going to be easy.
Yeah, and to be to that point, you might not be able to end with these buffs, but you should ideally, right? I don't see any reason why the Knights shouldn't be able to get a lead with them that
yeah,
can then utilize to end, right?
Yeah,
This should be game. Hopefully they play well. They've done well the last couple of team fights, all things considered.
Yeah, 5v5 under the turret is always risky. Got to be careful of those Morgana Qs as well, picking people off. You're seeing Windsor set up their defense. See what they can do. Yagubian's going to be poking, but he's got to be careful. Yeah. He gets hit by one Morgana Q. He is toast.
Very squishy Viego. Does finally have a death dance, but...
Saber pushing up, trying to get those cooldowns out. The Knights just not able to crack this tower. Might have to go for some kind of dive. And what you can do is you can just... have your Nautilus and your Mordekaiser just run at them scarily. And we're not seeing them create much space, but they can just go in there, be scary, and Windsor's going to back off, right? Like, especially with the turret this low, you just send in your big boys, push them off the turret, get the turret, and if they don't respect it, you just kill them. So... you got to use that threat to your advantage. You can't be too scared in this situation. The turret's at 1 HP. So honestly, this is the engage. Honey T-Bone's too far away. He needs to go in right now. Look for the engage. And you're seeing Saber play that angle. So we need a little bit more aggression here coming in from the Knights with these two buffs. They're playing it a little scared. And that's going to be Saber getting hooked under tower by the Gragas ult. So he will flash out. But that's what you're seeing. The tanks here are letting down this DPS here for the Knights. And that's going to be a huge engage coming out from Windsor. And the Knights might have just thrown their advantage. And here goes Willy Wonka. He will pick up one, so that's two going down. It's just up to Ainswie, and she has to stay alive in order to clear the base. She does still have Baron buff. She does have her ultimate as well, so she should be able to just ult out if needed, but she will use her flash and have to back off to the turret.
That's a tragedy. I think, that to what you're saying kind of while it was happening, I don't know what the Knights front line is really doing there. They're
scared.
Useful.
They're
not
scared.
Being useful.
I don't know what they're scared of, but they're scared. And you can't, in these big moments, it's easy to be scared, but you can't. You can't be scared.
Especially the Vayne this fed. Just go die for it. She's going to kill everybody. Don't let her tank.
I think we got to just have the confidence to end the game there. And we didn't. And that may come back and bite us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this could be getting 2 inhibs down now. I mean, that's a lot of prio for these 2 lanes. They could just run at us and take it nice and slow siege. And I think, we'll lose ultimately. I'm not sure if that's enough. I still feel like that the Knights have a scary enough team in comp that they could still very easily win any of these fights. I don't think it's in there.
Well, and innately, this is kind of the problem with the Knights comp is sieging, right? You have a low attack range Vayne. You have an Ahri who has been behind most of the games, not feeling too confident about getting up there, not going to do a lot of damage to the turret anyway. And then you have all melee champions. So, they got to be able to use their threat, use their beefiness to create the space for the Vayne and to get more hands on the tower. And I would have liked to have seen it a little bit more aggressive at the tier 2 because that is so much open area for Vayne. You know, once you get to the tier 3, it's a little bit harder because they're in their base. They have the wall. They can like kite back. But they got to be able to adapt and see that. And hopefully they learn that lesson and they can apply it here the next times they need to siege. But at this point in the game, it's so late that if you get a wipe, you should be able to just end the game anyway. Especially if you're Windsor because of how much they've opened up the base. So we'll see what the Knights can do if they're able to make that adjustment or not.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just kind of shape up. We'll see if it could end up with some split push shenanigans here.
Ainsby gonna have to. Good ult there does bait the ult from the Yone, so that's good. Here comes Nautilus though. They might be able to catch out the Darius. So Ainsby with no charm right now. They will pick up a little bit of damage on the Darius, but it's not gonna be enough to make any impact.
But I'll take Ariel for any day, right? Like, that's a win. We'll take it.
Yeah. So Ariel definitely gonna be up relatively quickly. Baron's coming up here in 30 seconds. Elder in 1 minute. So this game is going the distance.
I know, 40 minutes already. It felt like eternity, but also time's flying from just fight to fight. So,
and this is the competitive nature of these, of this tournament, right? So this is a best of 3, game 1. So we got a lot of League of Legends still to play, regardless of who wins this one. So let's see what happens. What will the Knights do? What will their plan be? They have good vision up at the Baron, and they're getting sieged by super minions,
It's tough to leave your base at this point, which is, it's great. Vayne gets to farm. That's great. Continue. But at this point, every time should be dead, and you should have won. It's just...
Yeah, and if you're playing for the Baron, they're going to get the Elder, so we have no vision down by the Elder, and you're seeing Windsor go down there and pick up that vision control, start to play around that.
All right, good. The Knights are coming here. I don't know if I like walking through this choke again. We've done it a lot. But I understand it's difficult with super minions to shove that mid lane out. So, but I guess we're just gonna run it back like the 2 last times when we lost.
Yeah, so we'll see what they're able to do. At least
we made it into river, and that's good. Just push off a little bit.
Clear out some vision. We got Vayne coming over as well. No flank coming in for the Knights. Here comes the Yone going aggressive. There's his E, though. That's a big cooldown. Your Gubian's going to get queued up by the Darius. Not going to do too much. Looking for a hook. Not able to get it. Getting some pressure, though. Nautilus going to go in. He's going to drop the ulti on the Yone and flash out. That's not a great engage.
No.
But it's something.
All right. There's some noise downstairs.
Yeah, so let's see. Here comes the fight. Mordekaiser going to be pushing in. See what he can do. He's going to be hooking 2. This is not a good fight for the Knights so far. We'll see what they can do. Back this up. Here comes Yone. He's going in. He's trying to get the engage onto Willy Wonka. That's going to be the counter hook. Here goes the Yagubian, though. He can get that shutdown, but he can't get it through the Zanyas. Darius is going in. He's going with the dunk. He will get 1. He will go ham. And Darius is going ham, but so is Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka's gigantic. He has a humongous shield, and he will not go down. Here goes Ainsby going in, and Willy Wonka kills them all. And the Knights are winning. The Knights have done it, but look at their base. The base is in shambles. Mordekaiser has to TP back, so the Knights win that fight. They'll get the Elder, but at what cost? Their base is taking a lot of damage, and what a fantastic fight there. That's why you're seeing the Mordekaiser. The Yone couldn't do anything, and the only person that died was Honey T-Bone, and what a great job for the Knights team fighting that. Can they get the Baron and the Elder off of that again? And can they finally end if they do? These are questions I have, J-Moth. What will the answers be?
Hopefully yes, but we'll see. I don't know last time. But the Knights really were the patience there from both teams, right? You gotta look, if you're Knights, you cannot afford any mistake there. And if you're Windsor, you're just waiting for those super minions to do what they did. They got so much work done. Great job pulling the trigger when they did, though, and that's a huge advantage. Finally, the Knights are going to be able to get around to. This time, Electric Boogaloo.
We got them both. Have we learned how to siege, J-Bob? Have we learned it? Have we learned it? 8,000 gold lead. You have Elder. You have Baron. Get in there. Get it done. Get it done. The Knights are putting up one heck of a fight. So is Windsor. This is only game 1. I can only imagine what game 2 is going to bring.
I'm not even ready.
I don't know if I can handle it. But here we are. And let's see what we can do. It looks like they're going to go back mid. They're going to rinse and repeat. Possibly go back mid to shove that out. And maybe maybe Willy Wonka has the confidence that he's got full build. He's got no boots.
Yeah.
He's got no boots. He's got everything he ever would want.
You don't get bigger than he is.
Just run at him. Okay? Greg is trying to split push, trying to create some pressure. But those inhibs are back up. Here we go. Yagubian going to find a Morgana, and kaboom! There's the dragon kill. The laser coming out. What can he do now? He's going ham. He's trying to get the Xayah. We'll have to get the ulti. We'll get the ulti out. And there we go. Yagubian's creating space. I don't know where his team is. Here comes Darius. Everybody else filling in. We got to see Honey T-Bone grouping up with him, being that aggressive as well. He will get the hook on the Gragas. That's a good hook. He's going deep. Will he drop his ulti? Yes, he will. Xayah has no ult. They will be able to pick up the Gragas. That's one. Can they get the Darius? That's two. Can they finally kill this Yone and get him off my screen? I hate looking at him. He will back off, still be alive. Ainsley's going to try to hit that charm, and this could be the game right here. The Knights are pushing. They found the way to get into the base, and once they got into the base, they opened it up, and that's going to be game one, going over to the Knights in fantastic fashion, J-Muff. That's what we want to see.
Heck of a journey. It took a long time and multiple tries, but we made it happen. Knights, some excellent examples of communication, some team fighting, some not so good examples, but in the end, it's just about consistency. And Knights did it better, more consistently than Windsor did.
Yeah,
and it's what it came down to. Like, especially the longer games. Well fought.
I was worried, Jay. It was only game one, though. We got to pull out another one.
Yeah.
And the guys got to refocus. That was a 45-minute game.
You can't get fatigued after that.
Yeah,
right?
you got to have the mental endurance, the physical endurance. You got to be able to go to distance in these best of series. So we will be back in just another minute with game number 2. Make sure you stick around, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Is that fear I smell? Impure fools.
We charge cancellation fee.
What's wrong? Can't take the heat?
Not a problem.
Hey, you're lost! But I get it.
You think I am the one to fear?
that fear I smell? Impure fools.
All right, hello and welcome back. I am Coach Kev, joined by Josh. What's up, Josh?
What's up, Kev? Round 2.
Game number 2 here. There was a little bit of problems in draft, so they had to remake the draft, so it's taking a little longer than usual, but we're getting into game number 2 here. This is a best of 3. Knights up 1-0. The Knights going to have the same team, at least the same first 3 picks, Mordekaiser, Viego, Ari, and then they're going to have Caitlyn and Alistar. The Nautilus was stolen over by the enemy support. And, I don't blame him. I think Hunting Teemo carried that early game. He was popping off. He's hitting max range hooks. Yeah, he's taking all the kills, but hey, he's got to get paid. So
That's right. Or tax.
Yeah, so he's going to be on the Alistar, and Alistar, great champion, especially into Nautilus. Who cares? You're going to hook me. So
I do.
yeah, so the lineups are going to be Mordekaiser, Viego, Caitlyn, Alistar for the Knights. It's going to be Fiora, Amumu, Silas, Jinx, and Nautilus for the enemy squad. So let's see how this one unfolds. I want to see this mid-jungle duo here for the Knights kind of have a redemption game here. I think that they did have some blunders in the execution of some of their plays. Ended up doing well, after the mid game, but I want to see the early game go a little bit better here for the Knights. I think Silas is a much more exploitable mid lane than the Yone was. So if Ainswie can hit those charms, and Yugubian's there to gank or whatever, could be good.
Could be good. It could be good. But that was such a long game. That was taxing. I don't know who was more taxing on, though, right? So hopefully everyone is back at the top so we can give you guys a good show here. And I think you're right. I think the Silas is going to be a lot easier to deal with. Obviously, he starts running over the game. He's going to be just as big, if not a bigger issue.
I think if he gets fed like the Yone did, we're going to have more of a problem.
Yeah.
But preventing him from getting fed, I think should be a little bit easier.
Yeah,
but
so hopefully that happens. The Fiora is also a bit of a different one.
Yeah, Fiora's going to be an issue. Fiora definitely a much better matchup into Mordekaiser than the Darius. So we'll see what Willy Wonka is able to do against that pick. And this is kind of, I think, in a game 2 situation, you're up 1-0. This game, if you lose it, you can still win in game 3. So you kind of have the flexibility of, running back a lot of your champions and being like, hey, you couldn't beat it the first time. What else do you have? And if they can't beat it the second time, then, you go home. You don't even have to do anything else, right? So let's see, if Willy Wonka can adapt to the Fiora pick or if that's something that they have to monitor, going forward into game 3 if that happens.
And, another thing to note, I think, with the Nautilus and Amumu and, potentially Silas or something, right? There's, so much go in, engage, fight starting potential here on the side of Windsor. SVU just doesn't, you either get an Ari Charm or
you have Alistar
flashes up. Right?
But there's an angle here you're not thinking of, Josh. Okay, and that's if we get a pick, Viego is getting someone that goes ham.
That's true.
So we kill Silas. True. Now we have a Silas that can go ham. We kill a Mumu. We're flying in there with 2 bandages. We kill a Nautilus. We're flying in there CC. And so I think these fights are going to be extremely snowbally either way. For either side. I do like the front line here for the Knights with the Alistar, the Mordekaiser. Then you have Viego kind of in that tier 2 front line, using his invisibility as a tankiness. And then you have the Ari Caitlyn, who's a solid backline. I think the siege potential is a lot stronger with the Caitlyn, obviously.
Yeah.
Setting up for those objectives is a little bit easier. You have the traps, you have the range, you have a little bit of poke. But you got to be careful because the Amumu flying in, Nautilus flying in, Silas flying in, that is a scary trio that is going to be going for your backline. And unless Alistar interrupts it somehow, he can W away the Amumu, or the side. There's a lot of play. This is going to be a skill matchup,
we'll happens,
so
right?
But if it's executed perfectly from Windsor, that's gonna be kills, right away, because that's a lot of CC, that's a lot of damage coming out. So
one bright side is that Silas I don't think there's any ult. He's super excited to get, right?
That's true. Alistar ult is pretty good for him, but Mordekaiser ult is it's I don't know. It's kind of
useful.
good. It's like weird.
Yeah.
Because we're probably gonna be ulting him anyway. Most likely, if he's strong again. So that's just
two Mordekaiser's
20
in
seconds
the
of them fighting, which does not sound interesting. But yeah, so yeah, I think when he has Alistar ult, that's probably the biggest concern. But you're right. I mean, Ari ult, it's whatever. Viego ult's pretty
I mean, if he
horrible.
gets real fed on Ariel, is actually going to be
Yeah, Caitlyn ult never going to take that. So that's a good point. But comboing the Silas with the Amumu, extremely scary.
I know.
I love Amumu. He's broken jungler. But Fiora, let's see what this guy can do on it. That pick's scary, but then I've seen it be not scary.
And we know going in that's not really one of his mains, right? He's a Darius plays a Mordekaiser.
There's a reason he didn't play Darius or he didn't play Fiora in game 1.
Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, if he pops off, I never like Fiora. Man, Fiora can be real scary if they're really good with it. But I'm gonna be optimistic here, and I think the Knights have got this.
Yeah, I wish I could be optimistic.
After that, for that last game. You gotta keep the good energy here.
Yeah, I'm gonna hope. I'm gonna, these guys have been preparing all season for this. They clutched out the game 1, and yeah, I mean after that, it's anybody's game. So let's see if they're ready to reset, and that can be hard to do after a long, almost 50-minute game, is to get back to square one. Okay, what are we doing? What does their comp do? What does our comp do? What does my champion do? How do I play this? Because they could completely change up how they play. You think you got to read on an enemy squad, and before you know it, they're switching up how they play.
Especially, already at one level, completely different champions. So
yeah,
and it starts there, but it doesn't end there. It looks like we're just hopping in onto the Rift. I don't know. Are there any big early matchup things, or do you think some of these are going to be a little bit more farmy?
I think just from the game 1, I think that mid lane is going to be a hotly contested zone with this Silas just repeatedly going in on the Ahri. Because if Ahri basically misses her charm, okay, here comes the Nautilus.
A little yin
5-stack here for the Knights. They do have the word on the red buff, which is huge. So actually, if they just stay here, they should have someone's going to come through this tri-bush. Surely. So they... if they just play it slow...
What am I watching? Okay.
It looks like Nautilus is looking around. No, they're going to just loop back around, so... Might just be nothing. But that's a good defensive ward there at the red buff here for the Knights.
I want to see him go in and fight. I want to see a fight.
Yeah.
Blood.
So they're going to loop back around. Nothing be had. So yeah. Level 1's nothing. But what you were asking, I think bot lane, we should have the prio advantage in bot lane with the Caitlyn, Alistar. Yeah. I think, the level 2 is obviously going to be...
One hook can change that.
That's true.
Health can shift so much with one hook, and I guess we'll have to see how that goes. But
I think Viego should be ahead of the Amumu, especially if he's getting a leash. So, this first fight topside, they're both starting on bot side. So, and they know, we don't know where they're starting, but we can kind of assume
infer, right?
Vieira's already showing. Amumu's going to need a leash. He's incredibly slow at doing those solo buffs on his own. So... Viego's going to be matching the Amumu, and I think that's our first point of fight. Oh, here we go. Here comes the hook coming in. Going to get slapped by Alistar. That's a big trade coming out. So Alistar needs to be a little bit more aggressive against the Nautilus. Just fight him. Don't let him get the hook on your Caitlyn. But very aggressive here coming out from Windsor. And they're pissed after that game 1 because they had it. They felt like they had it, even though they lost the early game. Here comes the level 2. Alistar's going to knock him up. Here comes the trade back from Caitlyn. So honestly, not too bad there from the Knights. Trade him back a little bit. And yeah, so I'm curious to see what happens at this top scuttle. Does the Amumu contest it? Will he have prio to contest it? Because it's like the age-old thing where if you have prio, that means the enemy can gank you, but that also means that you can get the scuttle. So, which will they decide? Yeah, will they play it correctly? Don't know.
And especially with both junglers knowing where each other are going to be, right? There's going to be some mind games and some reading involved.
Yeah. So Amumu's actually clearing a little bit faster here than the Viego. So Viego going to be a little bit behind the 8-ball here. He does have to go over to his Krugs, which is getting to the Krugs is not hard, but getting back around to the scuttle from the Krugs can take a while.
Willy Wonka with a slight push
Yeah,
here. I
it does
think.
have the prio. So we're seeing that ward from Fiora, which is really unnecessary if you're going to have prio disadvantage. So Willy Wonka should have seen her put that down. I mean, there's no way she could have done that without him seeing it. So just play around that vision, and here comes a Mumu. So Viego's got to be looking up here for this. No, he's going mid. He needs to be going top side to deal with this Mumu. This is a double kill for him, and it will be a flash out from the Mordekaiser. Might still die. Yes, he will actually pick one up. So good hook back.
That's fantastic.
But that is a mistake there from the Viego. Viego's got to see that one coming. He's going for the double scuttle, which, okay, that's fine. But I think, you kind of have to see if a Mumu shows up and go for the 2v2 with all that prio.
Yeah.
You're kind of wasting the prio. And you have to know that if you have prio, the enemy has the gank opportunity.
Right. These are those mind games, right? If you don't expect the proactive play is gonna win, right? You can deal with it, right? I think there's no reason Viego couldn't have dealt with that if you expect it, if you're ready for it. And maybe he just didn't know where Mumu started. Maybe he missed that at the beginning, which there's no excuse for. But Willy Wonka doing a great job getting one back. I appreciate it. Gonna hit the charm.
So they're tracking a Mumu pretty good. They have some vision here. It's gonna be a big wave coming in.
My word.
So a little bit of advantage CS-wise, but it's going to be nullified and probably lost after this humongous wave. But Willy Wonka trading that kill back is actually huge. Put him on even footing with the Fiora moving forward. Fiora going to have that sheen. It's going to be very, very annoying for Willy Wonka. Here we go. Ainswie, actually good charm there. Going to interrupt the dash. Might have to blow a flash here. Nope, just going to die out. So will go down. Doesn't quite have the damage needed. And that's where you're seeing her sitting on 3 pots. You kind of need to be blowing those. You kind of need to be using your pots, making sure your HP is up. Silas burning through 2 of his pots, and that's why he's at full HP, or at least more HP than she had. So that's where you're seeing that discrepancy, because she did hit the charm, does hit her spells. It's just using your potions.
And that is useful.
Yeah,
not first lane. Right?
Exactly. So it's basically having an extra item, just by chugging those. So, but those are those little tiny mistakes that you're going to see in these types of high intensity games. You're stressed out. You're trying to think of a million things. You're working on this and that and teamwork and poke and hitting your skill shots, and it's like, oh, I forgot to press one button, and
that can lose you the fight.
That can lose you the fight. So. Not the end of the world. We'll see. Double Scuttle did go over to Viego. Viego with a good CS lead here early, to be expected.
Gonna jump on a ward looking for the gank, but they see it coming.
Oh, and I don't think they do, because Nautilus is going in. He's gonna have to flash out of this one, surely. They do get the flash from the Jinx. He's gonna get booted back, so he's actually gonna go the other way. So he might still be able to get out of this one if he wants to flash. It's gonna just waste time. Viego should be able to pick this one up in the long run, but will any assist go over? I'm not sure. So here comes Nautilus. He's gonna try to get executed, but it's a little too soon, so he will die to the Viego. So that's going to be a good kill and a horrible engage there from the Nautilus. Like you said, on vision, just not calling it out and getting
down,
caught.
Right? Eyes down. You can't have that happening. 6s are up in the solo lanes. So
Here comes a flash Alistar opportunity. If Ahri can bait this, Ainswie looking for a possible redemption kill against the Silas. We know his aggression, and this is what you can do in these best of series. Oh, he's going to flash in. He's going to go for it. Can he charge up the stun? There we go. They have a 3v1. Ainswie's going to pick that one up, so that's huge for her getting back into this game. Still winning on CS, so great job by Ainswie in Game 2 against the Silas.
And I think there's just some
fight coming out here. Willy Wonka trying to... Does he have his shield? No, he does not. Yes, he does, but he's going to get all the procs of his... Wait, he's actually going to win this? What is this champion? What is this champion? He doesn't. He has a sheen disadvantage. He gets it. He gets her ult procced, and he still wins that? So
she sits on the healing for how long?
So yeah, pretty balanced there. He had the level advantage,
he knew champion limits, right?
It made sense, I suppose. So yeah, totally outplayed. Great job by Willy Wonka. And that's why you just go next with the same team, because it's like, hey, this is your counter, and I'm not seeing it. Even with the Amumu gank getting you first blood, I'm still winning the 1v1. And now Windsor's got to be worried about that. Their top side's not going as planned.
And this is, to the mid lane play, kind of what you see from the player reads from the game 1 is knowing how aggressive this Windsor mid laner is. Something that Honey T-Bone and just let's take advantage of that, right? Let's come in those. I like to see it again.
I love
do it 2 or 3 more times.
That's a great point.
Punch him in.
Yeah, and we can actually fight this. We have Viego on the south side. He does want a town here, though, get to his top side. And I agree. You don't want to show down here, give away Herald.
No.
So that's a good call. I'm even getting bloodthirsty, J-Muff, and I'm not even playing. It's hard to resist.
No, and the Knights are doing a good job, right? Like we're taking our opportunities, but we're not overextending. I don't think, right? And for the most part, and there's a little bit of a gold lead, and well, it's not much. Early game gold lead don't have to be much to account for a lot. I think.
Exactly. So I want to see if we're going for this Herald. I want to see the roam up from T-Bone. I want to see us commit to it. I want to see Ainswie keeping her HP up.
Looks like he's walking bot
beforehand. He's going to be walking bot lane. So it's going to be neither support, which is fine. I mean, I would like to have seen the proactivity, but they might need it for the lane. It's fine, I suppose. If they don't contest, it's a waste of time. If they do contest, the game's over. So I mean, it's a risk, I think, but I think it's a calculated risk, and I think wasting the first Amumu ult, Silas ult, would be huge. So let's see what happens. If they end up contesting this. Here comes Willy Wonka with the prio. Great job. She's going to waste her charm now. He will get eat up by the Silas. We'll have to use the ult. Here comes a Mumu. So he's going to get taken into the Dark Realm. And this is a huge Mordekaiser with giant wings and a huge humongous mace. He's going to get the Amumu ult. He's going to hit the Q but somehow miss it even though he's against a wall. So that was interesting. But here comes Viego to clean it up. She'll be able to. And yes, great job by Willy Wonka to do that. But here comes the Nautilus. But here comes the Alistar. Alistar has the angle. Does he have the cutoff? Yes, he will go in. We'll miss that Amumu. That's why he doesn't play Amumu. He will back off. He might be able to get the Silas body. And yes, that should be Herald for us. So great roam up from Honey Team Bo, countering the Nautilus roam. They had it planned all the time, J-Mop. They had it planned the whole time. Fantastic job there. And Willy Wonka is showing up huge. Got the prio. Roamed down. Dealt with the Amumu. Missed the Q even though he's against the wall. But it's okay. It's okay.
This is why when you got Willy Wonka topside, you play towards top.
Exactly. You have Willy Wonka. How do you ever lose? How do you ever lose? So let's see what they can do here. Shoving in, trying to get some plates. Got to be a little bit careful about the cross map play. But that's a Mumu ult wasted. A Mumu ult and flash wasted on a negative play. Just insanity. Gonna drop this Herald topside, and Yugubian heard you playing towards the Wonka. I think Yubian needs to stay though if they want to get that full tower, but they might just want to
take a couple.
Fior's is playing pretty patient, so take a few plates. That's fine. I would have liked to have just gotten that full tower, honestly.
I mean,
like it opens up.
Willy Wonka can't bully you already.
I know, but that's a lot of gold, man.
It is a lot of gold.
And
it's
Dragon's
chocolate factory though. Let the man sit in his chocolate factory.
Yeah. So I like to take the gold when I see it, but that's me. So, we're seeing a lead here for the Knights is what we saw last game, but we also saw them throw it away. So, I want to see the mid-game be a little more clean. I'm liking this so far. Lanes are pretty even. Ainswie is winning against the Silas in CS, which is kind of be expected in a range versus melee matchup, but, I think Ainswie's finally calmed down. I think she was a little...
last game.
Yeah, I think she was a little, intimidated, just by being, in the limelight on the stream, in her first league match. But you're seeing her, come into her own here in this match. Hopefully it doesn't kill her and ruin my entire praise, but she's playing a lot better, and that's that's scary if you're a Windsor fan.
Yeah, definitely. I like the Knights' position here. Dragon's coming up, 20 seconds. Hopefully we're positioned around this. Viego's in the area. Amu's kind of on the wrong side of the map. Just giving it.
So that should be our Dragon, maybe. I don't know. I mean, our strongest side's top side, and we're not up there, but... So it's, what do you want to do? That's going to actually be a huge hook there from Nautilus. This could be a kill on Saber. He will back off. Good job by T-Bone, shoving them back, not letting him get anything done. He's going to ult up, and here comes Viego. No, Flash still up on Nautilus. He might just use that, but he might not be able to get out. And no, he cannot. Will he pick up the body? Ill-advised. So Dragon's still on the menu here for the Knights. But they do have low HP on their Caitlyn. Jinx ult trying to snipe Caitlyn out, but Saber is not going to fall for those shenanigans.
Amumu is on his way a little bit late, but the prio mid here is in favor of Silas, even though he's backing, I guess.
This is actually like a huge opportunity for Windsor. I kind of Ainswie actually died, so I kind of want T-Bone needs to stay. This is not free. They need to get rid of the Silas. They're a little too confident in this one. They will get it. But that was riskier than I think they thought. And, if Amumu shows up with his ultimate and Silas is there, that's 2 kills and a dragon. So
yeah, this is maybe the least proactive Amumu I don't know. I've seen.
I don't play Mumu like just J-Moff.
I
I would be either 10-0 or 0-10
Why,
at this point.
why doesn't he have? Yeah. Where are all of his assists and deaths?
I don't think my ult has been on cooldown for more than 10 seconds as I play.
Nor would you
Mumu.
blow it on a Mordekaiser. That's just insulted you.
I'm using that all the time. Okay.
All right. Well, Knights, there you go. 2 dragons stacked. We got the first herald.
Oh, Ainsley going to get hooked up from the Nautilus.
No backup, though.
Will get the charm, a little bit of trade back. But T-Bone walking on a ward. Will he see it? Not sure. They're going to be clearing up the pink ward. No defense here for the Knights available for the pink ward. He will clear off that ward, so that's actually a good job by T-Bone noticing that. So Willy Wonka did get that tower. Is just sieging the tier 2 now. Total dominance in the top lane here for the Knights.
On that mythic.
Yeah, so let's see what they can do here in the mid game. Two dragons up. I think you're just chilling, right? Like you just chill. Nothing's going bad. So you just chill, wait for the dragons.
Don't jinx it. Yeah. No, I mean Willy Wonka's so big at this point. I don't think Amumu can do anything. Right? You just give him 2 kills instead of 1.
Yeah, he's gonna ult one, get more powerful, and then ult kill the other one after his ult. So that's
It's a great time.
kinda,
In fact, I think Amumu should go. That'd be great. Beat
yeah,
him.
that's the balance of Mordekaiser. Showing real strong. So Viego gonna be pushing in. Does have the prio mid, the prio top. Willy Wonka. Ooh, he might actually find this red buff. Smite.
He doesn't have it.
Doesn't have
He
smite.
does have smite. He just did it right there.
All right, so he's going to take out the Amumu possibly. Amumu has flash, but so does Viego. They traded it last time, so they're flash on the same timer. And here comes Alistair Humdy-Dum coming up the top lane. What do we got to do? But the siege bot lane is going in favor of Windsor. They're going to pick up that tower. Caitlyn can't do too much. Can't get caught out
That's the downside
by a
of having a
Nautilus
roaming
hook.
support, right?
Yeah, so especially there's not too much to play for. Oh, here we go. Actually, Silas might get caught out, so that's huge. Good timing there from the Alistair showing up. He will give over the ult though, so Ainsley has to back off. She doesn't quite have the damage. Let Viego pick it up if possible. He's going to go for the trade. Here comes Caitlyn.
Or Caitlyn
You don't want to let him keel, and there we go. So that's going to be Gale Force shot. And getting Saber on the map, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that's great.
So they do give up the tower, but this is the Silas here, the mid laner for Windsor, feeling the pressure. Like he knows that he could have carried that last game and he didn't. And now he is overforcing.
Right,
They know Alistair's top side somewhere, and he's overforcing, giving away free
Just
kills.
saw him walk up there. Yeah.
So they got to be happy with getting the tower. League is a game of inches. You can't just go for the whole mile right away. So.
And 4,000 gold lead on the side of the Knights here. 9-3, 2 dragons to the name.
I want to see it clean. I want to see it be clean.
Yeah.
Just keep this clean. Dragon coming up in 2 minutes. Of course, it's Cloud Soul. Can't get an Infernal or,
Not in a game when we're doing well.
Yeah, no, of course not. So, all right, so Silas has to be going down. He's going to engage on this Caitlyn, surely. Caitlyn's got to be careful here. Going to put the trap down. Will get hit by the E. Doesn't not have his Gale Force. He's going to be a long run, and he will die.
That's the end of Caitlyn.
Oh, and here comes a Mumu as well. So, actually, we'll deny the assist. So that's 150 gold, denied. Not that it means that much,
yeah, either way.
It's pressure. It's going to be Herald. So a kill goes over to Silas, but not ideal. But we're getting a lot. So that's the only thing. It's a good play from Windsor. They have to do something.
Right. You're not going to contest this Herald.
Exactly.
You're not going to win that fight.
We'll see what we can do with this Herald. Maybe break open mid would be good. But yeah, the Knights are just being patient. They might just save it until the Dragon. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Drop it, siege,
Win
and then
fight,
go to Dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah, so I'd be down with that. They do have to figure out what to do with the Silas. I think Willy Wonka can deal with the Silas, especially while his Rite of Ages is still ramping.
Yeah.
But this is not like last game where we have the scaling advantage. I think we do need to end this game relatively quickly. So I think we can't give up a Dragon, because we want to get to Elder as fast as possible.
Especially with a lead, right?
Yeah, and look for kills, so if they want to contest us, I say we take it and try to win it, and then, snowball this game even harder, get the Baron, or whatever, so...
But the Knights feeling very chill here, right? Like, there's not... I don't foresee an overextension if we continue playing like this. If there's no opportunity to throw, then we've won, right?
Exactly. So that's going to be a war. Our Herald mid. Here comes a Mumu. He's a good pick. If we can get the Mumu, that's huge. That's huge. That's a Mumu ult used for what? Absolutely nothing. And now we have a Mumu on our side. Woo! Can't quite hit the bandage. Should have went for the Nautilus. That's okay. Gonna go back, get the Dragon. Only got one. kind of wanted a bigger fight, honestly.
And yeah, the Knights at this point, to your earlier point, they only got one tower. Maybe not, not as a huge want to get these towers, get this gold. As you maybe would have.
Yeah, they're definitely playing the objectives well, but you do, you want to open up those towers.
Right, the
because,
Nexus is the goal, not Elder Dragon.
That opens up the map because you want to have as much of this map destroyed before you get those Baron and Elder buffs so that you can destroy them in their base.
That looks hilarious.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. He gets the skin.
Wow. It's like big ears.
There we go. Ainswie needs to flash that. Doesn't quite flash it. So we'll go down. But that's just going to be a solo kill. No big deal. Here comes a fight mid, though. Honey T-Bone does not want to opt into it. I feel like we might have wanted that. But the Knights not feeling the pressure, which is good, but definitely don't want to make this game last, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever that last game was.
I mean, but like you said, like there's a lot of the objective focus is like fantastic. This is going to be pretty early soul, right?
Yeah.
Take them all, feeling good. We've only lost one tower, which is fair. I mean, Alistar was up trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah, solo kills are fine. You just don't want to take any bad team fights. This could be a good team fight, possibly. But this is a 3v4 right now with the Silas here. So just let Willy Wonka do his thing. He's getting some pressure down top side. Wait till Ainswie gets bot lane pushing, and then we have the prio to make a play. Silas shows he's going to grab Caitlyn ult. So, okay.
What? Okay.
So yeah, but Yagubian's getting more and more ahead. That's a strong Viego.
Oh yeah, I mean 170. Like the dude's been eating, munching, picking up kills where he can, and he's taking the bag now. Like there's no at this point you're so kind of far behind that you kind of missed your opportunities to make plays. If you're Windsor, you're completely relying on SVU to mess something up here. For you to have any hope.
Yeah, I think them engaging in any play will just be suicide.
Even though, which is what they're...
This is a free kill on a Mumu, and Baron is an option, so if Mordekaiser can get him, this might be worth the ultimate. Mumu does have flash, and he actually will not pop it, so I think Mordekaiser probably should have ulted him there.
Yeah, he doesn't need it for Fiora.
You have 2 minutes and change to wait for the Soul Dragon, so you could probably at least threaten the Baron, maybe bait another fight, but that's not what they're going to do. So they will hold on to their cooldowns, but they're getting dangerously close to playing this a little bit too safe.
Yeah, you don't want to give them a chance to farm up until your lead is less significant, right? They've been at about 5K.
We're going for the Silas now. We're going for the Silas. He does have flash, though, so this is risky.
Sidestep.
Yep, can't quite land the charm. Here we go. That's a lot of damage coming out from Yagubian. Okay, then. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. That was an extreme amount of damage.
Yagubian, as a Viego, is a pretty big Sunderer player, right?
Yeah.
He was a little uncomfortable maybe last game on how squishy and stuff he was with that Kraken, but...
Yeah, so that's good. Took out the Silas, got Ainswie that tower. That'll make her feel a little bit more comfortable there in the bot lane. Silas won't be able to play as far up. So Dragon coming up in a minute 40. The Knights are literally just chilling for the Dragon, which I'm fine with. I mean, it's definitely the conservative option. But hey, you
as
don't...
close as, as difficult as last game was, just, whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, the aggressiveness in me is cringing, but I'm proud of them. We're not doing anything stupid so far, and that's good. So
again, you're saying all these things, and it's gonna flip. It's gonna flip. Commentator curse is gonna flip.
Oh, we've never cursed anyone, J-Mon. Especially not the Valorant team.
Valorant's fine. Yeah.
Especially not them. So yeah, we'll see. I think they're gonna just pull Willy Wonka down, which I think is just there's no reason not to.
I think you can kill all 5 of them.
Yeah. So honestly, I think he could.
I think so.
They're looking for a hook here. Actually, they're going to be ganking him. But this is a counter gank on the other side against the Silas. Once again, can they get him? Yes, they will. And I don't think they're doing anything to Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser actually going to try to run away. Might kill the Mumu. Will get ulted up by him. And I don't know if Willy Wonka needs to run necessarily. I don't know. Oh, okay. Now he's flashing in. So yeah, he played that little passive against the Mumu in his ult.
Yeah, now we're too conservative.
I think it's a double kill, but it's okay. He doesn't want to throw the game. I understand. But, I think that was free. surely that was
I cannot imagine that it wasn't. But that's all right. Knight's going to pick up this dragon here, spawning in just a second.
All right,
there's no way to contest this.
No, this dragon is going to be the Knights unless something crazy happens. But Mumu with no ult, I mean, what's he going to do?
No.
T-Bone clearing out vision. Nice. He's going to be soul picked up. And honestly,
just walk up to Baron.
Yeah, the Knights might want to just do the same thing at Baron. I don't see how there can be a contest. They have, Windsor has one thing. Oh, here we go. Charm does not land. But here comes Honey T-Bone with the flash play, gets 2, and that's going to be godlike here for Yagubian, and a double kill for him, and this could be a Baron situation for the Knights. What a play.
Yeah, I mean, take it to a while, right?
Ainswie baits the flash, and then Honey T-Bone with the flash WQ. I don't think he's ever screwed that up, and he didn't do it there either. And this should be Baron for the Knights, and the Knights are snowballing this nicely, J-Muff. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to get excited. But I am getting excited right now. But here comes the Silas looking for Honey T-Bone. Honey T-Bone actually will go down. So they will find one in return. Will Ainswie go down? No. So let's see what they're able to do here. This is good from the Knights. Here comes Yagubian, and Yagubian is out for blood here. He is going in onto the Silas. He has no shame. He will not go down. And this is the Yagubian we wanted to see last game, and I think he's redeemed himself in my eyes so far. And the same with Ainswie. Those two are night and day. The duo of the mid-jungle is looking fantastic here in game number 2.
It took 200 CS to get there, but now what are you going to do to the guy? What are you going to do?
Yeah. All right, so Willy Wonka back in the top lane, laying down the hurt onto Fiora, the counter pick here for that dude. I don't know what his name is, but the Knights are in good position. They have Baron. How are they going to play this? I mean,
10,000 gold lead.
I mean, I think they could just shove mid and win.
Just go.
But I mean, they're playing. They're playing smart. Yeah. I'm putting that in air quotes for you viewers out there. They're playing smart, okay? Because it's just conservative, right?
It's very conservative.
Look at that ward that Honey T-Bone just put out. In our pixel, put that at their wolves. They're not allowed to come into their jungle. Get this mid tower dead. Siege the base, and I think the Knights are finally, they lined up all their pieces nice and perfectly, and now they're finally gonna put the nail in the coffin here. Viego and Mordekaiser topside running down Fiora. Good counter pick. Maybe try again next time.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be a free kill. He will clean that up. The Knights have somehow fell back to mid. I guess they're playing, in the 4v3. They're kiting it out. And now we want Yagubian to really pressure this base. We got to get some inhibs here. We got to get 2 inhibs off this Baron, or this is a waste.
You cannot waste the Baron. You're right. This is...
Where are we going?
Good of a position. He wants this...
They got it figured out. All right, they're coming back. Okay. That's good. So, we got to get some sieging going here. Got to attack that tower. Let that super minion... Well, he's not super minion, but he's like he's a super regular. Cannon. Yeah, super cannon minion. He's just blasted away. Look at him go. So, that's pretty cool. Mordekaiser in the top lane. Cannot be stopped. Knights
this should be game.
Are hitting on all cylinders. There's no way back into the game here. Outside of here goes Honey T-Bone. He's just going bananas, and this is exactly the adjustment that we wanted to see them make last game. Honey T-Bone finding his courage, going in and creating the fight that we need to end the game. They will get the lockdown on the Silas. Silas goes into stasis, but that's not going to survive. Ainswie's going in the backline, zoning off the Jinx. That's a double kill for the Caitlyn, and that should be a Mumu down as well. So Yagubian 10-0, and this is probably GG here. The Knights pushing in and should have the end. So fantastic job here, J-Muff. I'm proud of these guys. And that the Honey T-Bone making the adjustment from game 1 to game 2, not wasting our Baron like we did in game 1, ending the game with the Baron. And this is just fantastic play from start to finish from the Knights. Game 1, I think they underperformed. And in this game, they played very, very well. And it's just an easy victory for the Knights.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the lead is astronomical. Look at that, 53k to 38. Knights doing a great job. Making a ton of changes. Fantastic series. Very fun. Exciting, almost sickening game 1, right? You're so nervous, but then they show up game 2. Look, we had this the whole time.
That's what we needed. So
well played from both teams. Windsor obviously had a good game 1 as well, but there you go.
So we have more matches for y'all. Not just this match tonight. So we will have more matches for you in just a few minutes. We're going to take a break here for a couple minutes, then we'll be back with another best of 3. So stay tuned. The excitement of that one, still feeling it. And these guys are going on to the round of 16, which we will also be broadcasting for you guys. And then hopefully they'll be making a run for the championship. So this is just the beginning. Round of 32 got the victory. And we'll be back with this team with the round of 16 later this week. But coming up in a little bit, we have a round of 32 match with one of our other squads. So make sure you stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. Coach Kev joined by Josh. What's up, Josh?
What's up, Kev?
Getting into game one here, best of three. And yeah, so the Knights coming in. This is another, we have 3 Knight teams in this tournament. There's different brackets of the tournament. These guys actually in the same bracket as the team we just saw. So that could end up being funny down the line if that ends up working out. But
No jinxing.
yeah. So we're gonna be jumping in here. Same, everything is the same as it was last game with the tournament and single elimination, best of 3. It's just
Same old.
Same old.
Good stuff. Get some games in. I mean, I think we needed that. A little hiatus there. Let's calm our heart rates. After
definitely.
The last series. But let's see if we can get two dubs here, right? Like, that's what we want to do.
Yeah, that's what we want. And
this is, by the way, this is the new champion, Emilio, for anyone who's
Emilio, new champion, and the Knights are on red this time. Okay, Knights have been blue last 2 games, but Knights are on red this time. And actually, interesting lineup here for the Knights, coming out with the Seraphine bot lane for Cool Man Ray. Interesting pick. A lot of AP coming out here for the Knights. So I'm worried that if the Kane doesn't get going, Shen could build a lot of resistances, and kind of be unkillable.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Right?
So
a little bit of, we're feeling the hype. Zumba Enjoyer on his famous classic.
Holy Bear,
also known as P Diddy, right?
Yeah, P Diddy. Oh yeah. So those longtime viewers know Zumba Enjoyer as P Diddy. He did change his name, but he's still the same.
Change his bear.
He got married, so maybe he's different now. I don't know, but overall, pretty much the same. But he loves the volley bear. Swain for Locker is a huge pick. I think this is a strong team fighting comp here from the Knights, right? So. You're looking here at the enemy squad, and Tristana. You see it a lot in pro play. I'm not a big Tristana 80 carry supporter, just because of how weak her mid game is, especially with Emilio. She has no way to really snowball early. She's very dominant in these first few levels. She can be very scary, but at the end of the day, she needs forever to become useful after the early game.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see what.
So another thing about it, I think, is the Shen ult's always an annoying one to track and play around. Because it's that idea of respecting the ability that's not being used, right? You gotta respect it anyways. It does give you some time to back off, but we'll see how that plays. Hopefully Zumba Enjoyer on his comfort pick is gonna smack him around. Yeah, and this is Florida Atlantic, by the way. There you go with the level 2 all in. From Tristana, going to be jumping in level 2, and that's the scariness. If you pair that with an Alistar, that's the long tried classic combo. But they survived it.
They did survive it, and Luck did have to burn the flash, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so this is Florida Atlantic going up against the Knights here today. Going to be good stun there. That's a lot of damage, and before you can say anything else, First Blood going over to Zumba Enjoyer with a humongous wave going down topside. So that's going to be the TP coming out from Shen early, pre-3 minutes.
Yeah, really early.
Good stun there from Cool Man Ray. Going to get pushed back, and here comes the Tristana going in on the Lux, going to cleanse the exhaust. Good job by him, but he's very low on health. That's a huge shield coming out. It's going to be a flash out of the E. Lux is getting dangerously low. Will probably die to that bomb, and this is a crazy 1v1 situation. Wave and Milio versus Cool Man Ray. Bugs will actually go down. Bugsy will fall, but Cool Man Ray will set this up. J-Moff coming in, has the flash, will be able to pick this one up. Easy kill. So that ends up being pretty good here for the Knights, I think.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly close fight, I think.
Yeah, I think they might have been able to manage that a tad bit better, but in the end, 2 for 1. You take those, especially if you can shove this in, get a good reset here for the Seraphine, and you're feeling good.
All right, going around. These are two full clearing junglers, right? Clear, repeat, clear, rinse, repeat. It's going to be same old.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the jungle matchup. Lilia, fairly scary jungler with the team fight ability, but not super scary in the 1v1. Can kite obviously very well,
right.
But it is fairly skill shot reliant. So
yeah, and it's not like her ultimate can be really annoying later on, but for a lot of these champions, like you said, in the 1v1, it isn't going to make much of a difference.
So that kill going over to the Kane, I feel like is really huge, actually. Getting that serrated Dirk on his first back, going to do wonders for the clear. This is actually a huge trade for Volibear.
Oh, no.
4 versus 5, but gets the tower shot. So that Shen with no TP is going to be hurting it. And this is, look at this topside vision here for Florida is actually fantastic, but doesn't really matter, especially against a Kane that we saw bot side. I think this vision is going to be kind of wasted for the most part. That's like 4 wards in a scuttle. So that's a lot of early game vision, and I don't know how much value it's going to be given us.
It's not even on, like it's on a drag side or anything. Like, anyways.
Yeah. So let's see what the Knights end up opting into here. Seraphine, obviously is never going to have the same amount of damage that Tristana has in an extended fight, but is a fair bit more useful in the mid game where Tristana is going to be incredibly unuseful. So those Seraphine ultimates, especially with the Lux combos, that's a lot of damage coming out, and you don't need that many items to make it impactful.
No.
So the Melio, for those of you who haven't quite seen him yet, he's just an enchanter. His big thing is that he can extend attack range. Ooh, that's a good snare coming in from Bugsy. Could be a kill on the Melio, but no. Bugsy will actually go down. Could be a double here for the Tristana. Cool Man Ray trying to play this out. Will flash, will get the E, but here comes Kane coming to clean up. He'll grab 1. Can he grab 2? And this is actually huge here for the Knights if he can pick this one up. And that's a great job by him being in the right spot, right time. And that could have been detrimental if Kane's not down.
Yeah, I mean, there's that 80 you said, right? You want to get ahead, and there you go. You got your 80.
Yep, and now they have to wait. If they want to build armor, they got to waste it, right? It's only for Kane.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to build armor, especially if he's going blue Kane, which is what it's looking like with the serrated Dirk, most likely, and the Dark Harvest. So he's been planning this from day one. But yeah, like I was saying, I think Melio is an okay champion. He's an enchanter. His big thing is he can extend attack range, and he can take AoE cleanse CC. So, make of it what you will. I don't think
which could be useful in a
especially against a Seraphine Lux, but
we haven't seen it do much yet.
I've never actually seen it be useful, like outside of just like randomly cleansing something. But I haven't seen it that much, so
yeah, maybe
it'll be impressive.
Well, clearing junglers, still clearing. Downside for Lilia is that she hasn't had nice kills set up, right? Like, this Lilia's going to be... I wonder if she's going to be of any use at all.
I think my thing... Yeah, and going back to the Melio, I think that it's hard for this ult because you have to get hit by the CC in order for it to be useful, which is what you not want to do anyway.
That's true.
So, like, Morgana is more like a preemptive strike, anti-CC, so it just kind of feels weird. Like, you're already taking the damage if you got hit by it, so...
And it's different from cleanse, right? Like using it on yourself is even less likely, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so far I'm liking everything here from the Knights. Top side's winning, mid side's winning, jungle's winning, bot side's up in CS. They're down a little bit in the direct 2v2 kill wise, but Kane having the 3 kills is going to be huge. The Knights have a nice 1,000 gold lead, and they're coming out strong. I want to see this possible focus, either the Rift Herald or the Dragon. Not sure what they'll opt into. Looks like they are going to be playing it slow. I think, there's not really any risk in playing it slow, particularly. You're already winning laning phase. You kind of want that to continue as long as possible. So,
yeah, wait until the opportunity to snowball, and then pull the trigger.
A lot of prio up here for the Volibear. Up around, 20-something CS.
And when that is the case, right, you do consider that Rift Herald a little bit more, unless he's just going to go in and push this Lily around. But knowing that she's there is pretty big, right, with this Dragon up, bot lane, shoving in, looking for the back, potentially. So we'll see what the Knights decide to opt into here.
Yeah, here comes the Kane playing on bot side, looking over towards that Dragon. Has a fresh bot lane recall, full health, level 6. Good item, so I think this is a good time to take that Dragon. Not really worried about too much. Here comes a gank topside, though. Volibear in a 1v2 situation, going to hit the shield. Not going to be able... He's waiting on his ult for the Lilia ult, but the Lilia held it, so... can't really ult there. He wants to counteract the sleep with his unstoppable. So he holds his ult, and in the end, it's a kill. I think, it's not ideal for Florida just because they do have the Shen, especially if they can get something done here. Here goes the King going in, going to miss the Lux ult. Will do a little bit of damage. Going to be backing off here. But that's going to be a root there, a sleep in for the Kane, but he will go in, he will kill off, and that'll cancel the Shen ult, so kills off through the shield. Here comes the flash in from the Tristana. We'll pick up that counter kill, so gets the shutdown gold onto the Tristana, and the Knight's trying to pursue, but should not be able to get them, so...
And that's 2 kills with the gold, heading over to Tristana there with the bounty on top of it, which is not ideal.
Yeah, and Tristana is the best player here for Florida, highest ranking player on their team. He's Diamond 2 or something. But yeah, so we'll see what he's able to do. He's going to jump in on the Lux, get the flash out. But yeah, you're seeing that pressure coming in now. Tristana, you don't want to get her to get ahead because if she can mitigate her weak mid-game, that is the worst-case scenario. A lot of damage coming in. And there's the scariness of this combo. Melio not able to have his ultimate. Can't get anything done. Can't counteract that. But here comes the Lilia going in on Bugsy. Bugsy with no flash will probably go down. Yeah, so Cool Man Ray going to try to back off. Doesn't have his ultimate. Should be able to get out of this one. But this is scary here for the Knights. Bleeding a little bit of gold to the Tristana, but still up overall. Kane's still doing fantastic for himself. And the same with top and mid. So everything but this bot lane is going great. And even this bot lane's not going that bad.
It's not going awful. Obviously, like you said, best player having... Ooh, we're going to deny the back. Best player having, getting the gold and stuff is not really what you want to see.
But it's to be expected.
Yeah. What are you going to do? It's not that bad, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So looks like we're going to pick up a Herald here, having seen Lilia down south. She's just clearing her way up.
Yeah, I do like that the play was overall fairly positive for the Knights, and it was with the Shen ult, and there was no volley bear, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think overall that's a huge win. Shen ult, definitely something that's scary that can change a fight.
It's a little cheeky. There's a lot of
here comes
Shen action.
Yeah, Shen coming down to check onto the Kane.
Waiting for the smite.
Kane
to come
does
up.
have smite. There we go. Grabs it, draws him over. Here comes Lilia though. Kane should be able to go into his ult, buy some time. No help from mid lane for either team, so they're gonna back off here. Syndra actually had to prio, could have roamed up, opted not to.
Very interesting. I think that would have been a very unfortunate play for the Knights. Would have gone. That would have been a huge turn. If Syndra decided to come up there. It's a nice leash on the Herald. Like that's your opportunity. To kind of stop the Knights, but.
And I think that's kind of why the Knights were kind of flirting with that play is because they noticed, hey, this guy's not moving. And here we go, the combo once again. Going to fly in. There's the cleanse, though, coming out from the Tristana. They pick up the Melio kill. But there goes Bugsy going down. Here's a 1v1. Cool Man Ray versus Tristana. Not going to be able to get that kill. So 1-for-1 in the end. But they're definitely trying to feed as much gold into this guy. Ult. There it is. All right, yeah. He will counter that ult with his ult. Well done there by Zumba Enjoyer. And I like that. He's drawn Lilia topside and just uses his ult and gets out. Like, this is what you want to do as a top laner. As long as you're not blowing that flash and you live and you don't even take that much damage, that's a huge success because you're drawing their jungler topside to their cross-map champion. And it's useless for them, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, Kane can do whatever he wants. Mid lane can do whatever he wants. And bot lane's just going to fight indefinitely, it seems like. And speaking of which... and there we go. Shutdown goes over to Seraphine, and that might be the pressure here. Actually, this could be a kill here, but he's actually going to miss his shield. So Zumba not able to hit that E. Right? Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the fight bot lane's going forever. And this is where, Tristana here for Florida might be feeling the pressure of having to carry, going a little bit too ham, trusting that gold on him is worth more than gold on us, which I don't know if that's going to be true, especially with the lineup here. You have strong Kane, you have strong Seraphine at this point. They're going to be able to kill him. Yeah. I mean, I don't see him ever being able to survive, particularly, and with a fairly weak front line.
It's extremely weak. Like,
I mean, the Knights should be able to do whatever they want, get any objective they want, get vision wherever they want. So they just got to be a little bit careful. Syndra hasn't been involved yet. Obviously, Syndra a fairly strong champion.
A lot of bursts.
Yeah, especially able to lock down one member. But you have a lot of shields coming out, a lot of HP. Kane's probably the most vulnerable. But he has all his mobility and elusiveness. So as long as he doesn't get chain CC'd one shot. He should be able to get everything done he wants to. So Comes Dragon coming up. About 20 seconds on that. Kane going in, harassing the Lilia. Zumba going in on the Shen. So this is good here. Kane trying to get the mid prio, harassing them, drawing them back. That should let Swain get prio. Goes a little bit too deep, has to flash out. And you kind of want to see Swain getting prio there during all that, not trying to rotate over. But this could be able to open up the Dragon. Gonna have to pick up some CS, but bot lane obviously has a lot to say about that.
Yeah, and they are all rotating river, right? So.
Yeah. 4-man, this is going to be a 4v4 in river, but remember, there's a Shen ult, but look at this. Volibear is making Shen irrelevant, so yeah, he can provide the shield. Oh, Volibear is going to flash in and murder him, so that's going to be lunch there for Volibear, and blue team will pick this up. It's a huge wombo coming in from Cool Man Ray and Bugsy. Kane is there as well, will not go down, and that is a humongous fight here for the Knights. Just drops them an ace, cross-map ace with the kill on Volibear. And that's what you want to see. Zomba doing his job from top lane, killing Shen so he can't show up. So it's a straight-up 4v4. And Cool Man Ray and Bugsy hit their spells. It's just free.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of those examples, right? Just give the Dragon, you're going to kill them all for it, right?
Exactly.
Wait till they're in a bad spot. And
Dragon's not worth that.
No, absolutely not.
So yeah, that's huge. Swain didn't even ult, didn't even have to do much. So yeah, the Knights just really decimating Florida here in this opening match of this best of 3.
Yeah, 7-15, Knights up 31.5K to 24, almost 25. That's a lot of money, especially just at this point. It's 16 minutes in the game.
Yeah, so let's see what the Knights want to do now. This is kind of chill time. Balloon this advantage. You got the bot lane tower. You can maybe rotate over, get the mid lane tower. You got top lane tower. Get your advanced vision. Keep setting up these objectives. Maybe get second herald. Maybe get third dragon when that comes up. And start sieging best you can. The more advanced vision you can have and protect, the more you can take over the map and deny resources from the enemy. So we're seeing that already. Volibear going bot, Swain going top. The bot lane here for the Knights going mid, and the Knights are just completely taking over this map.
All right, Rift Herald coming up again. Looks like that's what we're looking around. I like that play, right? We're ahead. Let's make it happen.
Yep, should be fairly free. If they show up, you get more kills. They don't show up, you get a free Herald.
Win-win.
Win-win. Volibear going to be in the 1v2 lane bot side, which is kind of unfortunate just because he's so strong, but somebody's got to do it, and he's never going to die. So he should be fine down there. Swain, though, if Swain can't deal with the Shen, that's going to be an issue, but it looks like he should be able to, especially, Shen's shield doesn't really... Oh, here we go. Swain actually going to go in, look for the root. Will he land it somehow?
Wow, that did not.
That made zero sense, but these top lane fights are always kind of crazy, it seems like. He's going to land a root again. Where's his Q? Still holding on to his ult, trying to go for the 1v2, and here comes Kane, going to clean that up easy. So Locker putting a stamp on this game, just easy 1v2. The Lilia and Shen are completely irrelevant, and the Knights are completely taking over this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty over. It should be fairly quick. You got at this point, Zumba and Joyer.
He's coming for the
You can't get away.
He will find this kill eventually, I would assume.
I hope so.
She has no tower. He's running. He's hoofing. He's jogging, it looks like.
That's
Here we
terrifying monster to run at you. No way.
Yeah, that's what we... So our mid laner can deal with their top laner, but their mid laner cannot deal with our top laner.
And that's how you know you've lost, right? Like,
yeah, it's looking pretty doomed here for
10,000
Florida.
gold lead at this point. It's...
Yeah, and and this is where they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board, in draft possibly, because I don't think these matchups are really favorable for them, right? Like Syndra didn't bully Swain nearly at all. Kane is just running rampant, and Tristana is never gonna be relevant unless this game goes to 40 minutes, which at this point would be a tragedy for the Knights if they somehow can't end this game before 40 minutes. So they're going to start sieging. Knowing this team, though, that is a possibility.
We love 40-minute games here at SVU.
This team in particular, known for their long games.
You wouldn't know it from this game.
Yeah. So taking over Southside Jungle, I like. Obviously, Soul is going to be fairly delayed, quite heavily.
Right, you
delayed.
lose that second dragon.
Yeah, and it was kind of a late second dragon as well.
Yeah, that first one wasn't taken for ages.
So I think this is just a Baron angle. I think you just go to Baron. You have Herald. You do the Baron, Herald end strategy. I can't see any world where they can just show up. I mean,
Nope.
just start the Baron. They show up, you kill them. They don't show up, you get the Baron. So we'll
win-win.
see
Once again.
Once again. So
It's a fairly cookie cutter.
pretty straightforward League Legends right here.
That's the advantage of play well, get an early lead, and just roll with it, right? Like,
Yeah, I
this,
think-
this is a snowball game.
Exactly. And I think some of these teams sometimes they kind of think that, well, that sounds too easy. Well, yeah, that's your head.
It's just
It is easy. You don't have to make it more harder than it really is. So the only, the intangible here is the Shen ult. So obviously he can just roam. He can just be bot lane forever. So they are going to pick up this dragon. And
which
it's
it's
fine.
safe, I guess.
it's a safe play. This is just like we just saw from SVU White. This is high pressure game. There's a lot of nerves out here, and playing the conservative way definitely I would take over playing the super risky way, even when you're ahead, right? So I don't mind the slow controlled play style. Obviously, you don't want it to get out of control. Shtana actually doing a lot of damage here to Volibear.
seriously.
Volibear's like, this is close range, though. I don't know if you want that fight. You come into my interesting ult there coming out from Zumba Enjoyer.
Let's call it a misclick.
Yeah, that was like a threatening ult. Just like, hey, I'm marking my
flexing
territory.
muscle,
Yeah, don't be coming near me. So here comes the rotate though from the Knights. Going to be an objective bounty picked up.
Yeah, all 4 of them up top after that.
And Lilia is just
way
trolling, just going to die for free. And this probably is Baron. And I don't know if the team thought of this ahead of time, but the Florida kind of just showed us the way.
Right. I mean, you send the Rift Herald top, kind of a waste maybe, but it draws them all up there. Lo and behold, this is what you got.
Okay, we're not doing the Baron. Which, okay, actually, now that I think about it, we don't really have any Baron damage.
No, yeah, we don't have. There's no ADC.
Yeah, so that's kind of an hour-long Baron, which I do think baiting the Baron is probably fine.
Then we kill them all.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of unrealistic, I guess. So they're just going to chill out, get these towers, which I like as well. I think towers are a huge objective. Really, really opens everything up.
Yeah, I mean, you've completely invaded their space. You're taking the towers. You're taking their camps. You don't need the objectives at this point with this much lead, right?
You're bleeding them out. You're getting their camps. They have to work through a whole tier of 3 tiers worth of vision. They have to scan coming out of their wall. So
never gonna happen.
Yeah, so it's like they're never gonna know that everything where the vision is perfectly. There could always be a rogue ward somewhere. Here comes the Syndra though, walking up dangerously close. Kane's gonna miss the W, but will hit the Q. We'll back off, get the Syndra flash, which is pretty huge. Volibear pushing bot side, uncontested. So he can teleport
Who's
at
going
any
to contest
time.
it?
I'm not sure. That's a lot of damage coming out from the shit. Actually, a good route there from Locker. Syndra with no flash. And here comes a huge engage. Over the wall comes the Kane. Will kill 2, 3, 4. And that's the fight the Knights needed to blow this game open. They're going to head over to Baron. And that is a great job. Lilia's bot side, no danger of a Smite
She's
steal.
so fast.
And she will try to kite out the Volibear, but that is a great fight there from the Knights. Locker going in with his Flash Ghost and his ultimate, just pulled the trigger. Great job CCing them for that. Kane coming over the wall, and just a fantastic fight into the
Just what
Baron.
you were talking about with the, bait it. Bait it for the fight, and you kill him.
Exactly. They dance around the vision long enough. They can never truly know where everyone is. And that Baron buff is going to be huge here for the Knights to siege, because you do want to get a lot done. You got a 10,000 gold lead, 12,000 gold lead. And Soul still so far away that you got to get something done with this Baron. You don't have the luxury of just playing for Soul and Elder.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So sieging potential is pretty good though, even though there's no AD carry, but those mages do.
And Lux with,
mages do a fair bit to the towers, and you have so much zone control with those spells. Pretty much everybody gets one shot except for Shen.
Yeah, especially with this much of a lead, right?
Yeah. So if they hit any Lux
once
Q,
they're dead.
Yeah, Swain E, it's just death. Kane can zone fairly well with his mobility. There we go, going in on the Lilia. That should be a free kill. That guy has no resistances whatsoever. Kane actually going to go over the wall and back over.
That's just stunning.
So that's just too easy here for the Knights to get this tower. Lockhart is kind of low on health. Knights actually going to play it fairly safe. But yeah, the tower will go down. Should be able to roll in, get this inhibitor. Oh, here we go. Flash in for the Light Bear. We'll get kind of screwed over by that taunt. So he won't be able to get his stun off. But Knight's pushing
we're still
well.
getting, right? This is still
Yeah, ooh,
big
there we
whistle.
go. Shen has to ult just to keep Syndra alive. Here we go. Volibear's going to shut down the 2 towers. The Knights are just brute forcing their way through this game. So there's nothing that Florida can do. Great ulti there coming in from Cold Man Ray. This is just going to end the game right here. And that's what we wanted to see from the last team. Just brute force your way in, right? Like there's no reason to fall back.
15,000 goal advantage, right?
Yeah,
Why?
like just go. Just they can't do anything. They have no items.
To get here. Stop playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. They had no items. They had no way to stop them. So that's going to be game 1 going over the Knights. So yeah, just
well
a
played.
huge
Gold diff.
yeah, Diffie in the pockets.
Diffie in the pocket.
So yeah, we'll be jumping in here to game number 2, but yeah, the game number 1, we have to see more from Florida. They have to have a better draft. They have to have more pressure early. They can't do anything. Like, Syndra should be able to somewhat bully the Swain, but Lilia is so far behind, always ganking top, and top was just so snowbally for the Knights. Zumba had no chance to even ever be in danger. Like, he died that one time, but who cares,
And
right?
the one place where you expect to have maybe some of that early power, Emilio's not going to help Tristana do that. Like,
Yeah. Emilio, definitely not the pick. I think he's way too, like, just not proactive enough for that team comp that they had. So, yeah, we'll take a quick break here. We'll be back quickly with game number 2, and we'll see what changes they end up making. Alrighty, we are jumping in here to game number 2, SVU versus Florida Atlantic. We got some different lineups here. The Knights looking pretty much the same.
Yeah, similar, I think, to our last set that we watched, right? We got much the same. Three same champs did not get taken away. We got Volibear, Kane, and Lux once again. So mid lane and ADC are going to have to switch on the Knights. But if it worked once, like, you know.
Yeah, I think exactly. Prove that you can beat it. If you can't beat it, then we're going to win again. So they did take out the Seraphine, or at least we opted out of it. And then the Malzahar here for mid lane instead of the Swain. I definitely like Swain better. Just in general, I think Swain's just very strong, good team fighter. But Malzahar does bring, that ultimate. He brings a lot of wave pressure. So definitely has some potential there to be annoying here for Atlantic. So this is going to be Knights are on blue side now. They did switch it up. So that's going to be the one difference here. But other than that, all the players are the same. And we're seeing the way here on the Zeri. So off of the Tristana, Zeri much more potent, I think. Still very strong late game, but
weaker early, right? That's the
So
kind of trade.
I think they kind of realized, that the Knights bot lane isn't like playing this too aggressive. Obviously there's a lot of fighting, but when you have that much range, there's going to be fighting. I think it's hard though. Playing an enchanter into the mage, bot lane can be tough. So we'll see what ends up happening here, but.
And definitely a lot of other changes that Florida's made, right? Camille mid, kind of.
Yeah, Camille mid's kind of
top, like Mundo in the jungle now instead of the Lilia.
Yeah, so. Camille mid's like kind of weird. I mean, I don't think it's great in a Malzahar, but could be wrong.
Yeah, it's not seen very often, right? Like
it's good. Obviously, at setting up ganks. It's good at she kind of can get. Roam a bit, but no, it's not great. It's not great.
You're not going to hit the stun on a spell shield anyways, right?
Yeah, so she's got no way to pop the spell shield. Like, he's never going to be in W range, realistically. So, but in Mundo jungle, pretty troll, I mean, he's a fine jungler, but very low CC here coming out for Florida. And Karma Top is pretty cringe, going to just be really annoying for the Volibear all early game, but will fall off. So we'll have to see how these lanes end up going. It might just be the curveball that Florida needs, though, giving some looks here that the Knights maybe not have seen. I mean, you don't often go up against Camille, mid, Mundo, jungle, and Karma Top, especially all on the same team.
The weirdness of it all might be enough to throw it, right? Like, that may be the strategy. It's like, look, let's just be weird. And here's
a lot of damage coming in.
Chucking these
We'll get the flash there. So great job from the bot lane here for the Knights. 1 summoner for 2. We'll take down the Zeri's flash, and that's huge.
Huge. Look at this health difference up here. They're very finally going to get to fight the Karma, but
he'll close that gap, but we'll get rooted up. Karma, very hard to deal with in the top lane. Very, very hard. That's going to be his flash, actually. The empowered W is very good to bait people. You get that healing. They don't expect it. Obviously you have your Q poke and your shield, but just so much damage. And the autos just... That's why, usually you see her go airy. She actually opted into comment, but when you get those autos off, and you have grasp on Volibear, how often you procking that, right? So definitely a hard matchup topside.
And probably expecting to go into Camille, right? It's totally unprepared and weird stuff. You see Volibear go and take a little poke around.
Even the Doran start, right? It's Doran's blade.
Yeah.
Obviously you'd want a Doran shield versus that matchup. But just not ready for this lane swap.
After such a good performance, that's not what you wanted to have happen to poor Zumba here. But
he's winning CS. I mean,
he's winning. Yeah, he's
poke doesn't do anything unless you kill him. Unless you're up in CS, what's the point, right? It's annoying and you got to deal with it. But if you're winning CS and you haven't died, who cares?
Not a whole lot happening around the map this time.
And the Knights are eking out a little bit of lead here. A couple hundred.
Some CS
mid, CS bot, and CS top. There's one. So, let's see if there's a little bit more of a dragon focus here. The Knights probably coming in with some confidence here after that game 1 just stomp. But, this laning phase, I want to see them play around. Here we go. Somebody's going to try to go in. This is what you kind of have to do is just kind of trade your health to get some damage in, but you don't want to trade too much because now it's hard to farm. So ideally, Kane would be up there, but
we're still on our way up.
Yeah.
And this is the Kane went ahead and kind of reverse clear, try to avoid any early aggression. But now your sequencing is all out of whack, and you're struggling just to keep up in CS when that should be your strong suit. It's kind of a mess, and he's not able to help Karma. We're not able to kind of really get a lead the same way that we were able to last game. So the Knights are going to have to figure out something pretty different.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pull this off, right?
The Kane kind of got some 3 free kills and perfectly timed with his clear.
Yeah,
so it was just the ideal situation. So that's why he just took control, and now just a little bit more behind. He's going to go in just to get Karma off this wave. It's not really going to get much. Get a couple orbs, but he's going to just try to get some breathing room for the Volley Bear, who's now finally falling down in CS. But level 6 spikes are coming up. Obviously, the Malzahar and Camille ults kind of cancel each other out. But we'll have to see.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Feels weird, right? Very, very slow all around.
Yeah. No, definitely not like last game. Or last game at all. But I'm seeing, this window is going to be a lot scarier, I think, than the Lilia, just because of his tankiness, right? Like, they had no front line besides Shen, and now
Shen was behind.
Yeah, we're looking at a Mundo, Camille, potential front line with 2 shield champions and a Zeri. So definitely going to be tankier. Here comes the Dragon coming out for the Knights. They're going to start this one up. Here comes the TP from Malzahar, but he's going to be behind the play. So this is going to be the first to the play will be the Mundo. And here comes Florida not wanting to give this one up, and nor should they be able to give this one up. Camille's going to ult up, get first blood, actually onto the Lulu. And the Cool Man Ray is not in a good spot here. He's trying to fight his way out, trying to get that kill on Camille. Will not be able to get it, but there goes the Kane. Will get in. Will get his first kill of the game. Here comes the ulti onto the Zeri. Kane's trying to DPS through the Lulu shields, trying to get as much damage in as he can, but he will run out. He will try to get something done, but Mundo's on the backside looking to pick up some kills. 1 HP. Here comes the Cleaver. Can he dodge it? He's on a pink ward. That's unfortunate. So he will go down as well. So they will pick up 3, I think, for 1.
Yeah, not ideal there. Maybe if it were an early start to the Dragon without any Malzahar presence. Pretty far behind. I mean, the last game, right? Maybe some cheeky Dragons was fine. But that was with the lead. That's when you can take those kinds of fights, and you don't have that now, right? Maybe there's some of the mental. You forget between games.
Yeah, you're not fed anymore.
Exactly, it happens.
And we're seeing CS lead and bot lane and mid. I think it's just a mid prio wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
Like Malzahar just wasn't there.
It was just a 3v4 for too long. Right?
And I think other than that fight was fine. I think if Malzahar's there on time, that fight probably goes in the Knights' favor. But in the end,
this is why this communication stuff's important, right? Like you can play well, and for the most part the Knights have, but there's one instance of communication, and now suddenly you're down 1,000 gold.
Exactly, and it's being able to communicate from about the future, right?
This is from 30 seconds, 40 seconds before should have already been happening, right?
Yeah. So all right, playing Kane clearing up to the top side, has a Rift Herald, could be fighting for that possibly. Would like to see the Lux roam up, obviously, for the 4v3. If that's not possible, then you could try to do it before this Karma goes to town. Still sitting on just a Doran's ring. So that could be the advantage that the Knights need to take this. Malzahar should be able to get prio pretty often in mid against the Camille. Kane going to grab that scuttle. Here comes a good combo here. Almost got the Lulu. Will shield herself up and will live. The bot lane here for the Knights really looking good, though.
Yeah, very close. It's going to be a gank, though. Mundo, can he hit?
Oh, what is that hitbox?
I know, man.
Mundo will... Oh, he can't quite hit the... Oh, and he hits that one, too. Can't quite get the shield. Will get hit by every Q possible, but here comes Locker. So they have no way to pop the Mundo passive, so you can't quite ult him. He will anyway, just for the damage. They will take him down. But that's kind of unfortunate in the long run. Camille's going to come up. It will be a 1-for-1, so it's not too bad. But
it ended up okay, right?
Kind of wanted a Herald fight.
That's in hindsight, yeah. I don't know. Camille roaming there is pretty late. I don't know what she's thinking.
Yeah, no, she's still down in CS, so we're actually seeing Mundo with a fairly substantial CS lead against the Kane.
Yeah, getting that early Balmy Cinder really I don't know if you've been seeing him run across the map. He's farming very fast.
And Karma with a substantial lead on the top side, but that's a huge lead in the bot side here for Cool Man Ray against the best player, here from Florida. So you got to give props to Cool Man Ray, definitely coming through, definitely putting that pressure on him and Bugsy having a fantastic laning phase, and hopefully they'll be able to turn that into a good mid game, good end game.
Yeah, I mean the dude must be like the greediest SVU ADC we have, right? Anything for money. Like he's gonna get that CS. He's gonna get to the place, whatever it takes. That's perfect, right? That's what you want out of these gold scaling champions.
So actually, no Herald take on either side. I think that makes sense. It's kind of awkward. Play.
No one's. It's kind of coin flippy, right? No one's very comfortable.
And there's a lot of pressure here for Florida. They lose this, they're out of the tournament. So, but here we go. Confidence the way is going to go in, try to kill the Sivir, and can't quite hit the Q. Will be flashed out by the Zeri. So they do lose the 2v2 because even though the CS advantage is there, the item advantage is not.
Yeah.
So, you're sitting on, only a 200 gold lead here for the Sivir.
Gonna
jump in here from the Zeri. The shield, though. That final auto was huge there from Cool Man Ray. Will pick up the 1-for-1. So that could have been tragic if he did not get that kill. Shield from Lulu almost saving. Lulu had, I don't know if she just got 6 or what.
Maybe trolling.
Like that. That could have been tragic if he had ult that whole time and never pressed it.
I would be mad if I was there.
Yeah.
It's like, what the?
All right,
so 17 to 8, almost 19K now, right?
2K gold lead here
Not
for
ideal
Florida.
at 11 minutes.
Let's see what the Knights can do. Here comes Dragon, and we're seeing also that Dragon went over. So Knights are in kind of a pickle here. They don't really want to contest this Dragon, but you really don't want to give over 2 Dragons this early, especially like when the gold's not too bad. Especially like top side, 30 CS advantage. So like that gold's kind of irrelevant, that gold advantage. So it's really just, the Mundo versus Kane. And they're both, Kane's on his mythic. So here comes Mundo coming down here. Can't really deal with his spell shield. And that's kind of like a huge problem in this game is dealing with the Mundo spell shield. You have the Lux Q, you have the Malzahar ulti. You'll eventually have the Kane W if he goes red Kane, which I'm assuming with the Conqueror. And he also has the Volley Breath done. But all those things are fairly useful. You don't want to use it just to pop his
shield. Useful until you have to do that.
Yeah, so Karma still giving Zumba just a headache in topside. Mundo has the Herald, has not found a chance to back here, and I think the Knights could probably pressure this Dragon, but it looks like they are opting into a recall. So that's fine by them. Not feeling too confident. A lot of these
awkward, right? They're just not feeling good. Zumba gonna go in for it.
Yeah, not able to hit his shield, but might be able to finish this one off. He's gonna have to back up. Can't stay on. And here comes the Camille, and this is where the Knights are kicking themselves for not starting a Dragon, right? Because Camille's top side, it's a 4v3 bot side that's never going to be contested. You could easily just pick that one up real quick to just have the insurance of they can't snowball.
Right, Solo's not going to be coming up very soon. So you're right.
So it's fairly unfortunate. May not matter in the long run, but we will see. Locker keeping good pressure mid. Going to get the TP out from the Camille. And then we're going to have TPs being unleashed here. So TPs are unleashed.
TPs unleashed. Form up on Kane.
Yep.
But it's feeling pretty slow. It's like a slow bleed out, right? The Kane or the Knights here just not finding their footing.
Incredibly.
Eventually,
slow.
it's gonna get too far. So we gotta make a play at some point, right?
Yeah, Locker most CS in the game. He's doing well for himself. But topside definitely looking rough. And this is hard because it kind of changes. A little cheeky steal there from Kane. Oh, here we go. Actually, a flash in from the Malzahar. Interesting. So he just flashes it and auto attacks.
It's for the scare him, right?
Yeah.
Watch, I can do this. Right, like that volley bear.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're seeing kind of a difference here because Zumba's not have the advantage that he had last game. So the Knights kind of faltering to what to do.
And that's just to show that how valuable I think overall today.
Oh, here we go. All in coming in from Zeri. Going to take out the Lux. Kiting out is Cool Man Ray. And we did have the exhaust there for the Lux, it looked like. So unable to drop it fast enough onto the Zeri. Could have actually turned that one around, possibly. Mundo's down there to make sure Sivir doesn't do anything crazy. Here comes Kane. So this might end up just being nothing. Or a dragon.
Looks like Camille's going to get first to rotate down to dragon.
Both teams just really feeling each other out still. Mundo looking like he's starting up the dragon. Knight's not looking to contest.
Which I get, you don't want to bleed, especially after, Lux died and it's just got to reset.
Yeah, it's just second dragon. It's really not that big a deal. Losing this top tower, trying to get mid tower. That's actually huge if they're able to get that.
Gonna have to back off though. No way.
I didn't see where Herald was used from the Mundo.
I don't
know if he dropped that.
I don't know if it was.
If he didn't drop that, that's kind of a waste.
Which is great for the Knights, so we'll take it. It could have been bad, right? The last thing you need to add on to their gold lead is plates. So
yeah, here comes Sivir, gonna grab that mid tower, like you said. Cool Man Ray always looking for a buck. Him and Angelo would have been
wave,
good. Yeah. So here we go, 2v1 in the top lane. Good knock up there from the Kane. Gonna try to get this Karma. Can't quite get out of the root.
She is the worst.
Will go down and chase her, but to what end? Good siege here from the Knights, picking up bot wave with the Malzahar. Just like you said, just a slow game. And this is what happens. You see it all the time in pro play. It's the same thing here. Bugsy getting caught out. Cannot stop the Mundo. Mundo just going crazy. Cannot be killed.
I think Cool Man Ray is going to be able
Look
to
at his base damage. What a balanced champion. He's going to run everyone down using his ghost. Kane will back off, but will get chased. Eventually slain. Triple kill. Mundo's 5-1. That's a big boy.
Oh, man. He is never going to die here again, right?
That's what I was saying. See, the advantage of having a Mundo in a game like this is, there's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of these players, right? This is playoffs. This is single elimination. This is a round of 32 tournament, championship on the line. And these guys are down 0-1, and our guys are up 1-0, and you don't want to make a mistake. So you don't really want to make any plays because you don't want to throw the game. You don't want to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
And that's why picking Mundo is nice because he kind of is just always, he's non-committal, right? Like he's just like, I guess I'll keep walking. Oh, it's not looking good. I guess I'll back up. So it's not like
here and there.
Yeah. It's not like an Amumu or one of those champions that you press all your buttons, or even like a Lilia where it's like, you commit your ult, you're kind of committed. You're not leaving. Lilia's a little bit kitey, but so I kind of like this pick in these types of games. And we're seeing it pay off where he can just run people down, and then if it got scary, he could just leave.
Yep. What are you going to do, kill him?
Exactly. You can't kill him. He's got no items. So, can't see him with his passive.
Very fun.
Yeah, very cool. 2 levels up on the Kane. Ooh, they're going to fight over that potion thing. So, Mundo looking to start up this Herald. Kind of a lead growing here for Florida. Malzahar going to try to wave clear this, keep the tower alive. Malzahar versus Karma, a bit better of a matchup. These are matchups we kind of wanted. But, Volibear finishes his Spirit Visage, and now he's fighting Camille.
Yeah.
So, that's
not
unfortunate, but I don't think it's that big a deal. That's going to be Herald going over to Florida. The Knights are in a bit of a back.
It's just not happening. It's just not. Nothing can get done.
And we're not seeing there's really no plays to be made. Florida's playing pretty safe. There's no big playmaking champions here on the Knights side. Yeah, they had the Malzahar. We saw his wasted his flash that one time.
Right, that's the play. Okay.
So
to the next one.
These guys are kissing each other, and then ulting double tether. I don't know what's going on down here. Interesting stuff.
It's a trade.
That's some spacing issues or something. So the Knights just going to farm up. And honestly, this is fine for the Knights. I think they scale fine. Obviously, you don't want to be down in gold, but you're not feeling too desperate. I do think the Dragons is an issue. Third Dragon coming up in 50 seconds. And I think that second dragon could have been taken, and I think that now they're going to be seeing how that is kind of unfortunate.
It really bites you in the butt.
Yeah, but we do have mythics online for most characters, so we'll see. I don't know how they're going to deal with this Mundo. That's what I'm wondering, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, you look for the cleavers maybe, but there's only so much. There's going to be just a bunch of health, right? Is what really is going to be the issue. Sivir, at some point, eventually, she's got one item though, right? Like,
yeah. Oh, here we go. Kane going to go in, going to get the shield, going to get a bunch of damage off. I don't know if they have enough. They're going to try. Going to miss the binding, goes wide. Cool Man Ray is going to get run down. Here comes the exhaust. That's actually pretty big. Good knock up there. Flashback. But look at this guy. He can't die. He literally can't die. He's just going to run away. Maybe Kane can finally kill him. Oh, that's actually huge. That's actually huge. So, for some reason, the Florida was so out of position that a 20-minute fight against Mundo.
How long did that take? That was insane.
And they could still find it. So, that is actually huge. Big throw there by Mundo. Because this should be their dragon. And now, the Knights are back in it. They don't got to worry too much about Soul now. Just 2,000 gold leads. Going to be irrelevant at some point.
Yeah.
Just go back to farming and, everybody get your popcorn and get comfy.
Right, and that's huge. Like, that's what you're talking about, right? Just slow it down.
Exactly.
Slow down the soul anyways, right? Get yourself the chance to catch up.
Exactly, and that's one of those awkward fights where it's like, we don't really want to fight, but we want to contest somewhat the dragon.
It's very fortunate that Mundo decided
It's very fortunate that none of them are...
And nobody helped.
Yeah, like, are they playing a different game? Like, they weren't even close. They weren't even... That was an hour.
They were looking.
Yeah, like, it's like... They're probably just... Mundo's probably just like, I'm fine. I can't die here. The classic Pleasant Plant expression. I'm fine. I'm fine. And then it's like, wait a second. They actually could kill me.
I'm fine. Help.
I'm fine. Wow, that kills me? Yeah, so...
Here's the Herald.
There's the Herald mid. Kane going to push him off top side. Here we go. This should be tower here for Florida. They're reasserting their dominance, grouping up.
That was an interesting W.
Yeah, so mid tower's down for both sides. And here we go, just a 5-stack. It's hard to tell the Zeri lightning from the Lux lightning.
Yeah, they're just big blocks of
they're
of
like the same width. And it's like...
It's confusing, come on, right?
Yeah, come on.
We got a little zoom out here.
Yeah, let's get a little big picture action here. Baron is on the table.
It's on the table. Objectives have been relatively slow and stuff. Anything to happen has been quite slow because the Knights are really not in a position to start something most of the time, and when they are, they miss it. And Florida's really just taking their time. They're not pushing the lead.
They're chilling,
and it's been okay so far. I think they could have done a lot more with it.
I do. I agree. I think you kind of want to be proactive with the Camille and Mundo.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them fight together once. It's just, look at this. It's just Mundo by himself going in, trying to do something. Yeah, and the Knights are just absorbing it.
Exactly.
So I think the Knights are doing a great job at countering whatever plays could be coming out here by Florida and just kind of stem the bleeding, and they're just chilling. Like, the Knights are fine with this. Here comes Malzahar. He's going to get a little bit of poke. But they got the dragon.
Take off Mundo?
No,
shield?
No, I don't think it does. So,
it was useless then.
Yep.
All right. Timer's 2.5 minutes on Dragon. Baron's still sitting up, but no one's really looking around there. The Florida constantly has this top shoved in, right? So
this is
Florida's never been involved with anything.
This is kind of indicative of the enemy comp, right? Like, they have no engage, right? All right, so we got Kane here. Sitting right next to Mundo. Actually gonna take those. So he's hiding. Yeah,
there's a little bit of a lip on that, a little bit of corner.
He's hiding in the fog.
It's those little victories that keep you feeling good in this game. Exactly. You're not quite gonna notice. Gonna have to flash the key. Gonna
flash out. Mundo still wants to fish for this. Knows he can't be ulted because of champion balance. Locker in a bad situation here. Gonna probably go down.
He's gonna make it.
Will go down.
That's 4 committed.
That's actually Mundo picking up the kill though, and I don't know how much stronger he can really get. So yeah, actually they're gonna start up. Knights are starting off the Baron here, and this is theirs.
Yeah, you can't commit 4 people to the bot lane with Baron up like that. I mean,
yes, this is actually a Baron going over. That's huge. 1 kill for a Baron, I take that any day of the week. Especially another kill to Mundo. Yeah, I mean, he's already got 5 kills. How many kills is he?
Yeah, what's the difference between 10,000 and 11,000?
Yeah. So that's actually huge there. Locker drawing him down, doing the best he can to survive, and then the Knights picking up that Baron. So great cross map play. And like what I was saying,
the backs there.
What was I saying? Oh, Florida's team doesn't really have any tools to start a fight. You have Camille ult. Okay. Like, who cares, right? Like, all right, that's one person. But I haven't seen that happen once.
No.
Camille's side lane. So, it's like, even though they have the advantage, they have the lead, they don't have any way to, like, push it particularly, except for at these objectives, which the Knights have been playing around better. So, I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Gonna just siege up with this Baron. And this kind of Baron like this, Josh, is more like just we're happy we got it. We're not planning on getting a inhib out of this. We're just kind of chilling. Here comes the Camille, possibly going in. Good root there. Going to pick up that free kill. Mundo trying to recover. Going to be a flash over from the Lux. Trying to get Mundo off of the back line. A lot of damage coming out, though. Cool Man Ray looking low. The Knights with Dragon on the table. Going to just shove out mid.
I mean, use the Baron, right? You've got
him. So Mundo's going to try to go catch the wave. But I think the Knights are just going to back off to Dragon here.
So annoying.
Camille is respawning somewhat soon with TP. So Knights actually will siege a little bit more and then pull back to the Dragon. So this could be good to even up the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, 2-2. Game's to 5-12, but like the gold lead, we talk about this a lot, right? Okay, they've had a 2,000 gold lead for a long time. That used to be a big deal.
10 minutes.
And now, it's just the longer the game, the longer the lead goes without growing, like the less relevant it is.
So that's huge, and that's kind of how I thought the Baron would be used, and I'm happy with that. Like, they got to pick. They get the Dragon. This Baron gives you breathing room. It's not there to win you the game. It's there to prevent you from losing the game because you are the team that's behind. So they still need to find a way to shut down this Zeri. Zeri is getting quite scary. Almost on 3 items. So we'll see what they're able to do. Hard to lock that one down.
Right, that's where your flash miles of heart.
Yeah, and you're seeing double support here with the Karma Lulu. Just going to stack the shields on this area.
Shielding, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Plus the shield bow.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous.
This is where,
so
Serpent's Fang or something.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty successful, Baron.
Yeah. I don't think you can ask for a whole lot more out of that. Maybe, obviously, tier 1 up top is still up, but...
And this is where these team comps, I think, Florida's kind of wanting the Knights to just into them. But the Knights are too disciplined to do that. Yeah, they're like, hey, we're chilling. We're farming. We don't get outscaled that hard. So we got no pressure to int. We're just going to do our thing. They haven't fallen any further behind. So kind of an awkward choke here. Good ulti there. Bugsy, we're seeing Bugsy just use the ulti on cooldown. I like that. I think that's the way Lux should be played.
Yeah.
Just get that poke off, get that damage off. And there's no reason for them to come up here. So this is exactly where, Florida's looking for a play. Will Bugsy check it with her E? Gonna have to back off here. Doesn't have flash. That's a 1 kill. Not that big a deal. Nothing up. And that's just that's their only strategy, right? Because they have no engage. They can't just force down mid, which is looking like what they're going to try to do right here. But the Knights playing it really disciplined, and I like to see this. Here we go. Kane going to go in, going to pop that off. Can they get it? Here comes the ulti, though, from Malzahar. This could be kill, but that's too much shielding, too much healing, too much of everything. The tankiness from Mundo is just so valuable with those shields. So just unable to bring him down, even with all that focus. Zumba not able to get involved too much.
Man, that bites, you're finally that close to getting them, and it's not quite going to happen.
Yeah. So the Knights just kind of chilling here. They got bot lane pushing. Like I said, they're still farming well.
Right. You haven't fallen that much further behind or anything like that. Baron's coming up again. So, see if something could happen around that. You just don't want to overextend here, right? You just don't want to let their lead grow.
Yeah,
as long as you've done that.
Yeah. Their best initiation is baiting you into a fight. So as long as you don't get baited into a fight, they have no way to start a fight. So the question is, though, there is some fights that are good. So how do you sort out the fights that are good versus the baits?
Yeah.
That's the trick here. So Karma's going to be falling off here. We're almost 30 minutes in. Literally just a support for Zeri. Mundo, his base damages are going to start becoming irrelevant. So,
But he's going to start scaling with health, right? That damage is
he's
building the.
he'll still be able to do damage to like Bugsy.
He's got the Giant's belt for the Titanic, probably, right?
Here we go. Mundo going to face check this. Knight's going to put a lot of damage onto him, but he just is so tanky. He's just going to eat it and back up. So that's because some tools use.
All right, yeah.
Here we go. Zeri's going to go in by herself. Cool Man, we're going to try to get some damage. And Mundo on the flank, but 4v1 right there. But they can't quite get to Zeri. There goes the Kane into the Zeri. Zeri's going to flash over that wall. But here we go. Here comes Mundo. Here comes Camille. The fight has finally started here for Florida. Kane's going to try to do what he can on the backside, but he just can't get enough done. Does hit some good AoE, but the Knights get pushed back and get decimated. So the Knights in the hole now. That's the fight that Florida has been waiting very patiently for. 30 minutes of waiting for that. And they finally get the Knights to bite on a bad engage and counter it and take a significant lead in this game.
And it's tough because it kind of looks good for a second there.
Yeah,
Right?
it does.
Zeri jumps over the wall, but like you said, with those two supports and as much kiting as Zeri can do on her own, like, good luck, right?
And that's like, it's one of those things where like you need a fight to get like flash and all
Right.
those major cooldowns,
Right.
and then have another fight, which is the actual fight, right?
Which is, this kind of a 3 to 5 minute plan. Like,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a tough thing to execute or even recognize. But that's kind of that's what's required at this point, right?
Yeah, so we could be looking at a game 3 possibly here. Definitely looking good for Florida up with the Baron, and they have Dragon coming up.
They put them on Soul Point. I mean,
Soul
it's
Point.
a very
Mountain
slow
Soul, great. That's what
Yeah.
we want on Mundo is freaking Mountain Soul. So Mundo's huge, Zeri's huge, and everybody else is kind of just a role-playing character anyway. So this is looking good for Florida. Here it
I
comes.
think they just keep doing the same old.
Yeah, he's going to pop that potion. So now the Knights just need to kind of weather the storm continually. The lead has grown to 6,000.
But to what end, right? Like, do you just keep bleeding? Like,
I mean, yeah, I don't know. They got to wait out this Baron for sure. If they can get through this Baron without giving up an inhib, I think that's a win.
yeah.
And then from there, you try to eke out some vision, try to set up a fight, look for a pick, maybe. You do still have the Malzahar. He doesn't have his flash up anymore. Here goes Kane trying to get something done. But, level 17 Karma to level 14 Volibear. 15 now. But that's just the side lane presence. The Karma's just always been side lane the whole game.
Yeah.
Never takes a break. Now has the Mikhails. So that's going to be huge. It will not cleanse the Malzahar ult, but it will cleanse the Locks. Here we go. Actually, here comes the Zeri coming in, but
Way over
might
the
be a
top.
little too
There's the
far. There's a
Malzahar
good
ready.
Malzahar ult. Not enough shields there, even with the two supports. And here we go. Zumba's finally involved. He's going in. Here comes Mundo on the backside. He's by himself, though, and the supports are out of buttons. They're going to try to get him done. He can look at silence and shut down to cool Baron. That's a huge shutdown. Here comes the knockup. And the Knights are still pushing forward. So this Baron buff ends up not being useful at all. A throw there, by the way, going over that wall right into the waiting arms of Locker 74 will ult and lock her down. No pun intended. And the Knights are now pushing in for possibly a tower here. And that's a great turnaround. And that's the Knights ready. And that's the patience. They're kind of forcing, Florida to make a good play. And now we're pushing onto this inhib. And Florida just can't set it up. They can't set up the good play. They got impatient. Zeri gets impatient, flies in, and throws the lead that they had. Going to jump it on the Camille. Should be able to get her down. Will they be able to get this inhib is the question. Going a little bit crazy here. Still Baron minions. Got the inhibitors. So not only did we save our inhibitors from the Baron, but we took one. So that's a huge swing there for the Knights. And they're not done yet. We may not be going to a game 3 after all. Let's see what ends up happening here in this next fight. Zumba definitely finally got involved in that fight, showed the power of the Volibear, still has his flash available, but the Karma and the Lulu just not providing enough health there for the Zeri to survive, and even shut down the Mundo once again. So the Knights looking good here.
Yeah, and as the Zeri, right, you're like you had mentioned before, it's kind of their star player, right, the head of their team, and when you're you have that pressure of, okay, I need to do something to make this end, because you're stuck in this kind of loop for 30 minutes now.
Exactly.
And that pressure just kind of maybe got to their head. You overextend.
The Knights wore them down. Like, they wore them down just with the boredom. Like, I'm feeling it.
I know.
Like, the
very slow game.
There's no team that you want to get into a boredom battle with than this team from the Knights. Okay, these guys could play for 2 hours and still be going, still be disciplined. Okay, they know how to play long games, and so they're fine. They're chilling, and you could see Florida getting baited into bad mistakes just because they want to end the game with that Baron. But the Knights are just not going to give it to them. They're going to be hard to eradicate, and it works perfectly in this type of situation.
I mean, I'd be antsy too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if I was Florida.
Yeah. Like, you can't blame them. Like, I'd be diving them. Of course, I would have picked a champion that could, so I wouldn't be in the situation. But
What do you mean, Mundo can dive him? Just take no damage. Walk.
yeah, they
I hope he wouldn't be in this situation.
here we go. Missed the
I missed the
knockup.
knockup.
We got Dragon in a minute. Soul for Florida. Don't want to see them getting Mountain Soul. The hit being down is nice. Doesn't really do too much, but it is nice.
So it's a little bit of a pressure relief, right?
Yeah. And kind of, I think it's a little morale booster here for the Knights. You
Yeah,
know, like,
very important at this point, right? It's
like-
been a long game already.
like that fight, you know, they came into this one hyped up after winning game one convincingly, and now all of a sudden they're in the situation where, hey, these guys actually know how to play the game. We might actually have a series on our hands. And they've been down. So let's see if they, you know, with that morale boost, maybe they'll find a fight or they'll get baited into a bad one. I'm not sure. I think the Knights need to poke them down before they engage into a fight. Shields are hard to use reactively, you know, so...
Yeah, if you fail to pull that trigger, the health's gone. You know?
Exactly. The proactiveness of Shields is OP, but the reactiveness sometimes can falter. So we'll see if the Knights can win this poke war. Obviously, the Cleavers do a lot. Karma does a lot, but Lux and Sivir also do quite a bit of poke. And there you go. Look at that damage coming in from Cool Man Ray. Good job there. Chunking down the Karma. Karma does have a self-heal if she chooses to mantra her W. Kane going to try to pressure them off this dragon. The Knights don't want to give this one over. And here we go. Ulti in from the Lux. Going to get the E from Zeri. Volibear looking. They're playing around this control ward here in Pixel. I like this. Kane going to try to hit that W. The pressure here from the Knights. They're just going to let him poke down a little bit. Fish for Lux Qs. Here we go. All right, the shield is off of Mundo, so the next CC will hit. Malzahar does have his ult. Mundo's going to start up the dragon. Kane's going to try to get a flank, and the HP bars are low, and here goes Zumba. Zumba goes in, and so does the Kane. He kills the Karma, and so does the Camille. Zumba and Jamov are decimating the backline. They're going to flash in onto this area. The star player here for Florida is down, and it's just Mundo. Can he 1v4? Here comes the squad. They're going to all gang up on him. They will take him down. That's the ace. And that's the dragon here. Actually, they're going to go towards the base here. Might be an end angle here, and I think they called it right. The Knights might be able to end this.
I mean, it's almost 40 minutes. These are long.
That's
long
true.
Respawn time.
Long respawn timers here. They're going to TP in, and this could be it. What looked like we were going to get pushed to a game 3 ends up being a 2-0 here. If the Knights can close this out, they do still have the demolish here from the Volibear. Kaboom! So that's going to go down, and yes, the Knights will win this in 2. And 2 2-0s. That's what we like to see. Fantastic job here from the Knights. Able to get that win. I was worried right up until I wasn't.
Twice. A little bit of synergy, right? It was 2 games. We're real worried. And a couple of stomps that you love to see. Got to make it fun.
Exactly.
Well played by all of our teams. And these are the 2 teams you said that are in the same bracket. So
yeah, so these teams are both moving on to the round of 16. So that'll be another best of 3. We'll get the bracket up for you guys next stream and show you what's going on, show you the potential fun if these teams both move on to the round of 8. But yeah, so tune in for the round of 16, which will be coming up this week. And yeah, we'll stream those. Halo will be streaming as well this week. It's against Fisher, so I don't know if you want to tune in for that one, but you know, they still have some matches left. They have a cross conference match as well, so we'll keep you up to date. But thanks for tuning in today. Some fantastic matches. 4-0 here for SVU, and yeah, going into this week. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Later.